My name is James Rowlands, and I am a lifelong wrestling fan. In 2015, I started a podcast with my friend, Dan White, reviewing the WWE Network and seeing if it's worth the $9.99 a month. It was. And since then, every month we watch the latest WWE pay-per-views, NXT, and now 205 Live. Still continuing our journey through the network, watching ECW, WCW, and all its classic content. Until we've watched it all, we are with you, and we are the WNR. Yes, hello, I am James Rowlands, and as always I'm joined by
Dan White.
And today it is episode 117, it's a WNR117, and we're going to be watching WWE SummerSlam 1992. Can you believe it was 25 years ago, Dan?
Oh no, I wasn't even born then.
No, well, SummerSlam at London's Wembley Stadium will always hold a special place in the hearts of British WWE fans of a certain age.
The company's first pay-per-view to be held outside of North America was an extraordinary spectacle watched by more than 80,000 spectators.
Well, still the only major WWE event to run on these shores, this card on August 29th was headlined by one of the greatest matches in wrestling history.
The British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, faced his brother-in-law and Intercontinental Champion, Bret Hart, in an emotionally charged battle, considered by the Hitman to be his very best.
Well, fans old enough to remember the original heyday of the then WWF can recount their memories of the show, while young viewers can see the drama unfold for the very first time.
It's going to be in Ultimate Warrior's corner today. No way, he's going to be on the side of Macho Man Randy Savage. Look, he's a Jew. The British Bulldog's going to win, whether he wants to or not.
We see all the British fans to begin with. Dan, what made you laugh in that?
One of the British fans said, the British Bulldog is going to win whether he wants to or not.
Yeah. But isn't it a damn shame that we haven't had a pay-per-view? You have to go back 25 years to actually experience it for the first time, eh?
It is a monstrosity to why we haven't had a pay-per-view here. It is a bit of annoyance.
Well, it took place on Saturday, August 29th, 1992 at Wembley Stadium in London, but didn't air on pay-per-view August 31st.
WWE considers the crowd to be the fourth largest live audience to ever attend a WWF event, with 80,355 in attendance. WrestleMania 29 in 2013 is reported as having 80,676 fans in attendance. WrestleMania 3 in 87 is reported as having 93,173 fans in attendance. And WrestleMania 32 in 2016 is reported as having 101,763 fans in attendance.
Well, I'll tell you something, we've just seen the opening there, the fanfare. It looks spectacular, doesn't it? It's probably the only SummerSlam to have a true WrestleMania feeling, isn't it, you know?
Most definitely, yeah.
Well, some writers believe that the WWE, going back to attendances here, we see the 80,000. Some writers believe that the WWF inflated the attendance figures for WrestleMania 3. However, and that SummerSlam 92 had a larger crowd. So they said about 79,000 in WrestleMania 3, 80,000 in Wembley. I think that's believable.
Yeah, most definitely. The WWF made over $3.6 million in revenue. Reviews of the event are almost all positive, and the Smith-Hart match has been rated the best match in SummerSlam history.
And if we look at the commentary team, we see Bobby Heenan and Vince McMahon getting us started. We see the British flag and the American flag up near the SummerSlam logo, and we hear the music in the first match. Is that Ted DiBiase? Is that Money Inc.?
It is. It is the father of Bray Wyatt and the father of Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase.
Yeah, coming out with Jimmy Hart.
Mouth of the South.
It's good to see him. Well, we'll get some background before we get on with the first match.
Well, we've got a little bit of time. There's a long walk to the ring.
Yeah, there is, to be fair. SummerSlam 92 was originally intended to take place in Washington, D.C. The WWF decided to move the event to Wembley Stadium in London due to the company's growing popularity and the possibility of increasing the revenue from the event. And like we saw...
Although the writers' plans originally called for Shawn Michaels to win the Intercontinental from Bret Hart, the storyline was adjusted due to the change of venue.
Right, so before the pay-per-view broadcast began, 2 matches were taped for later showings on the WWF Primetime Wrestling. These matches were never advertised on US television in the weeks leading up to SummerSlam.
The first match saw Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Bushwhackers, Luke Williams and Butch, defeat the Mountie and the Nasty Boys, when Duggan pinned the Mountie. In the other match, Papa Shango defeated Tito Santana by pinfall.
But the actual pay-per-view opened with a Legion of Doom taking on Money Inc. And we've just seen IRS and Ted DiBiase come down there. And look at Paul Ellering. Look what he's doing.
Wow.
My God.
What a rush.
And not only him, but the Legion of Doom riding their motorbikes down. What a visual this is.
They had the Undertaker's gimmick before the Undertaker.
My God, Paul Ellering and the Road Warriors. Legion of Doom even.
Hulk and Animal.
Well, what a rush, Dan. Is it good to see Legion of Doom?
It is. It is, most definitely indeed. You know, they was one of my favourite tag teams as a youngster.
And they're here tonight to take on Money Inc. And the fans seem to be happy to see them getting a superstar reaction.
Definitely, yeah. And the LOD chants are going crazy.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what else is going crazy. The sale of the green fingers by the looks of things. I mean,
I think that's the only thing they had on sale.
Oh, right. The little puppet he's got is called Rocco. Of course, Paul Ellering, not weird enough not to have a ventriloquist doll with him.
But 25 years later, he's managing the NXT tag team.
What a crazy thing to say. Jimmy Hart's in the corner of his men. I mean, what an atmosphere here. The fans are just going to love every moment. I mean, there might be rain. It is England, so I wouldn't be surprised. But someone might be smiling down. First match of the night. But it's quite good, though, because we've gone back 25 years. But usually, you know, you might have to Google a wrestler or something like this. But with these 4 men, we don't have to, do we?
No, we certainly don't. Of course, we all know Paul Ellering. He's currently managing Authors of Pain. $1 Million Man Ted partner IRS, Money Incorporated. You know, he's the father, both fathers of legends in the ring. And Animal and Hawk, if you don't know who they are, you need to get your head out of your ass.
Yeah, I mean,
into some wrestling books.
It is a good tag team match. I know, like you say, the Money Inc. and the Hills, as we know, with the debt collector and the multi-millionaire going against the Chicago hard cases. They're just mentalists, aren't they? Don't like selling the LOD.
Certainly not, no.
DiBiase's showing his intelligence.
He did, and he had more success than his son.
Oh.
But IRS not having as much success as his son. Or one of his sons, anyway.
No, but I think if we're going to get into, hang on a minute, a Hawk there, clothesline, DiBiase over. I think it's how famous the father is as well. I think the exception to the rule might be Cody Rhodes. We'll have to see how he goes along in the future. But I think with Randy Orton, with Bob Orton, he's not a huge star, is he? He's not as big as Ted DiBiase or... I'm trying to think of other famous people who've got sons in them. Ric Flair, David Flair, do you know what I mean? That never worked out. Because
Charlotte Flair did.
Yeah, but she's a woman, so there is a slight difference. Do you know what I mean? There's a difference, though. It's not comparable, is it? It's not like he's replicating the father's career.
Hulk tagging in Animal and $1 Million Man tagging in IRS.
Well, it's not as... Well, I suppose now.
Multiple tag team champion. I think that's all he was only ever involved in storylines with the $1 Million Man.
Oh, yeah, you've joined the... like I say, he joined the the $1 Million Corporation as well. He was friends with DiBiase for a very long time. I mean, both of these were single stars, but DiBiase, with age deteriorating, you had to turn it into a tag team.
Can I just say, though, at WrestleMania 9, they beat Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Which was...
by disqualification.
Yeah, and that's an excellent point, because this would be going on to it. That would be March of 93. This is August of 92. So you see Money Inc. being together. Jimmy Hart, of course, in their corner as well. Hogan not being here, when Hogan would return, it would be involved in this storyline with Money Inc. So excellent point there. We'll keep dates of history as well. We'll just come off WrestleMania 8. Like we said, with it was Psycho Sid, or Sid Vicious versus Hogan in the main event, and Flair versus Macho. We'll see how it differs as well. Like I say, at the moment, I'm liking that we know who the guys are. IRS.
In our shyster.
Just got Animal into the sleeper. It's Animal Hawk. I can't see the Mohawk. That's Hawk.
So out of all of these, I think the bigger star was Ted DiBiase.
So I'm just laughing at Rocco at ringside. Yeah, I think Ted DiBiase out of all these. Probably, but I don't know. What, Legion of Doom or Ted DiBiase? Who do you think's bigger? I'll probably say Legion of Doom. Probably more successful.
Yeah, but then you had the whole single side of things with IRS as well. And he had like his $1 Million belt and so on and so forth. Whereas the LOD was just tag team.
I mean, it depends, isn't it? What's more important? Is it tag team titles, if you are a tag team, or... then again,
did he win the IC title as well, $1 Million Man?
No, he never won a championship in the WWF. Apart from the $1 Million title was created for him, yeah.
He never won a singles tag.
Never won a singles title, yeah. Hulk now's turned things round on IRS.
Hulk going off the top rope there, trying to take out IRS, but he ducked and Hulk went straight to the outside on the opposite side of the ring. Animal in to try and get him some of R&R Shyster, and as the referee's distracted, Ted DiBiase there dropping Hulk on his back on their wafer thin mats on the outside.
And now Money Inc. double teaming Hawk in the corner. As you see the ring, it's on a rise, isn't it? As he fell to the outside. So if you're in the front row, you actually are looking quite. It's not the best seat really if you're in the front row, because you've got a bit of a way to look up.
See, I'm old school. I don't class the LOD as Road Warrior, Hulk and Animal. They're just Hulk and Animal.
And also you can see with the stadium, the stairs as well, the big yellow stairs leading up. People still trying to get to their seats. I tell you something though, IRS and DiBiase did a great job working down Hawk right behind the old switcheroo behind the referee's back.
Cutting the ring in half. Again, this is early on classic tag team wrestling. I mean, is it not just as simple to stick out your hand? But no, they don't.
No, because they're heels and they always take shortcuts. And that's what they're doing right here.
Ted DiBiase dropping the knee across the throat of Hulk, but only getting the 2 count.
2. Hulk desperate for a tag. LOD started so hot in this match and has just been slowed down by the veterans.
But again, this is classic tag team wrestling. The faces get beat. Well, they start off strong. Get beaten down with a few heel tactics. Get the hot tag in. Finish the match.
Well, Hawk's just thrown DiBiase a turnbuckle. Looks like he's going to get the hot tag now. Oh.
The momentum stops and IRS beats Hawk down back in his own corner.
Oh, now goes try to clothesline Hawk.
Oh, Hawk ducks it and then a big shoulder block takes down the IRS. Can he get the much needed tag to Animal?
But IRS is between him and his tag team partner. Not anymore. IRS desperate to get the tag into DiBiase.
Manages to get to his brother and holds Hawk's legs so he can't get the tag to his brother, even if he wanted to. They're not even brothers, are they?
No. Yeah, but they're brothers in arms, aren't they?
But they are, yeah.
Yeah. We're associated with each other. DiBiase spitting at Animal.
Infuriating him, getting him to come into the ring. Distracting the referee, and now both men double teaming him.
Well, IRS has got the tag rope and he's choking Hawk with it. Referee can't see because Animal is so annoyed.
It wasn't your classic catch can style wrestling back then, was it?
No, but you loved it, didn't you? It inspired you as a child. Watching this as a... How old was I? 5-year-old? Oh, yeah, 5 years... 4 years old when this event was on. Oh, wait a minute, there we go. Hawk getting his power.
No, the referee was by IRS, and the legal tag wasn't seen by the ref. Even though IRS and DiBiase made a couple of illegal tags, which the referee also didn't see, but allowed.
Yeah, and now IRS and Hawk just hit into each other, double clothesline. Love that move. Can either man get the tag out?
IRS tags in DiBiase. Finally tags in Animal.
Now Animal is on fire. He's been waiting so long. Oh!
Big shoulder barge takes him down. A high elevated dropkick takes down the oncoming IRS. And now he's just kicking the shit out of DiBiase in the corner.
Oh, IRS from behind, stopping that assault. Referees counting them out. They're going to double team Animal.
Oh, but he ducks a double clothesline attempt and takes them both out. And now Hawk's rapidly recovered.
Oh, Animal's got IRS up.
Oh, an atomic drop. And now both men are going to be working over DiBiase. Irish whip into the corner, then Hawk sends Animal in. And that's it, they're signalling through the end.
Doomsday device, and Animal's putting DiBiase on his shoulders, and Jimmy Hart's getting up to distract the referee. Oh.
But IRS comes in, drop kicks Animal, it delivers an electric chair to DiBiase, and yeah. And
then Hawk making IRS pay for that, punching him, lands him on the apron.
Oh, big power slam. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, there we go. IRS knocked off the apron. DiBiase, like I said, hit with a move, and Legion of Doom win.
With a power slam, James.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw a match won by a power slam?
No, not in a very long time. Start, Dan. The crowd are happy. What do you think of the match?
I thought it was brilliant. You know, it's a good bit of nostalgia. LOD winning, and it was a classic tag team match.
I completely agree with you. And, you know, like I say, the action wasn't the smoothest, but I want to go back to the point of being a 4-year-old watching this. How old were you when this was on, Dan?
I was about 5 or 6.
5 or 6. And I think the importance of an event like this, first saw wrestlers, it was like superheroes come to life. You know, you've seen Arnold Schwarzenegger, you see people like that. Woo! On television. And, you know, and then these kind of real-life superheroes come into your life. The size of the Road Warriors, you know, you were just in awe as a child. You're like, oh, my God. And it moved on from wrestling afterwards, like Gladiators and all the things that we liked about that as children. And that's what wrestling was. And to have someone like British Bulldog that's going to be in the main event, who was a larger-than-life character as well, was just fantastic. Anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed that. We move on, and backstage, Dan, is
the Nature Boy. Woo! Well, backstage we are with a legend and Ric Flair.
Yeah. Well, Flair's not actually got a match, even though he is dressed to compete.
Woo!
So Ric Flair backstage, Dan, what do you have to say?
Well, he's keeping his cards close to his chest. He's not letting on which dressing room Mr. Perfect is in, but he's in the dressing room of the winner.
Oh. Woo! 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 And Gene asked him why he's dressed for competition. He said he's ready for action anytime. Innuendo.
Yeah, innuendo.
And now Sean Mooney is backstage with Virgil at the moment. Virgil's getting ready for action.
So why was his name Virgil?
Well, Dan, it's interesting you asked that. It's actually an inside dig at Dusty Rhodes, because Dusty Rhodes' real first name is Virgil. There you go.
And why was his name Vincent when he moved to WCW?
Yeah. It's interesting you say that, because it was a dig at Vincent McMahon for making a joke at Dusty Rhodes. And then at one point in 2000, Virgil changed his name to Shane for a couple of episodes as well. So,
why was he called Shane for a couple of episodes?
Virgil backstage, what did he say, Dan?
He grew up in the mean streets and he's not averse to fighting against the ex-convict Nails.
Do unto him before he does unto him. That's basically Virgil's point. Oh, can we phone this number? 1-900-454-SLAM. Nails already in the ring, and look at him, Dan. He looks like a fellow co-presenter of mine. You know that? Look at him there, right there. He looks like, I'll tell you what, people at home never seen Dan before in real life. It does look like Dan, and here comes Virgil running his way down to the ring. Funky music though by Virgil, of course. Left Ted DiBiase's side, didn't want to be a slave no more, making a name for himself. Were you a fan of Virgil, Dan?
Yeah, I thought he was quite a good wrestler.
Oh, that's an interesting thing. If you should say Virgil is found the boss man. Of course, Nails escaped from prison to beat up the big boss man, and now he's choking Virgil, and he's still choking him. My God! And this big man Nails trying to put Virgil away. Virgil reversing the corner though. Big right hands and Irish whip, but Nails reversed. Oh,
trying to take the big man down, but unsuccessful. A drop kick, but he just sends him against the ropes, and Nails stays on his feet.
But Nails, bowling shoe ugly, takes Virgil back in the corner, continuing to choke him, and a rake to the eyes of Virgil. Nails doesn't care. He was in prison, for God's sake. He's probably going to shiv Virgil to win this match. Virgil ducks the clothesline. Tries to go sunset flip, but Nails to the right hand. Virgil ducked for the roll up. Nope.
Trying to get this match over quickly.
No, Nails turns it into a joke. Well, at least Nails has got one wrestling move at the moment.
A choke.
Yeah. And look at Nails crawling underneath the bottom rope like he did when he escaped the harsh prison. And going to meet Virgil on the outside. Bet he chokes him. No, he doesn't. He throws him head first into that apron. This ex-con, well, it's current con. He escaped from prison. He's still wearing his prison outfit, we should say.
I never understood what DOC meant on the back, but it's Department of Corrections, isn't it?
Yeah, and Virgil's trying to correct the Department of Nails' head at the moment. Oh!
But as he come in for the onslaught, Nails just took his head off with a big clothesline.
And Nails going to set Virgil up, trying to finish him off. Uh-oh.
And now he's got him in his chokehold.
It is blatant, Dan. It's blatant. Referee should notice this. Can't stop it. Come on, ref. Do something about it. Virgil's passing out. And that's it.
The referee's called an end to it.
Oh, my God. And Nails wins in decisive fashion, Dan. What do you think of the match?
Oh, hang on a minute. He's got Big Boss Man's nightstick. Well, it was a bit of a thrashing, really, wasn't it? From Nails to Virgil.
Yeah, Virgil started out. He had a good 30 seconds. But then Nails finished it. Looks like he's going to put a beating on Virgil. They're hoping Boss Man comes to save him, but Nails,
he nails Virgil in the midsection with that nightstick, and now he's choking him out with it.
Yeah, choking him out with that big long black stick right along his throat. Virgil can't breathe anymore. The official's trying to get him out of harm's way.
And Nails helps him out of the ring by kicking him in the midsection.
We're backstage. Lord Alfred Hayes trying to get an interview with the Macho Man.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. Oh, you can do Lord Alfred Hayes as well, can't you?
Hello, James. We are backstage here, trying to get a Macho Man.
I'm trying to get an interview. Sound like Nigel McGuinness.
And we're trying to get an interview here.
This door has been locked. No one is allowed to get in there. However, undaunted, I shall continue. Why don't you just knock on the door and just go, Miss Perfect, you there? And if he goes, hello, he's like, shit. You caught him out. Mean Gene talking to this time an absolute legend.
Oh, she's beautiful, isn't she?
I know, honestly, I'm a huge fan of sensational Sherry Martel. That's what I wanted you to say. I'm never getting that out.
Sensational Sherry Martel.
She is, and she's been...
Anything to do with the model Rick?
Well, yes, they were together, but recently Shawn Michaels had been getting involved in matches, as we saw on WWF Superstars. Rick Martel had Bret Hart in the Boston Crab, but he was attacking him. Shawn Michaels attacked Bret, costing Rick Martel a match, and then the model, I know he's one of your favourites, is he coming out here?
He winked at her.
He did, he started winking. Oh!
And then she smiled and winked back.
Yeah, but she's meant to be Shawn Michaels, his manager. She can't keep her eyes off the model Rick Martel. Well, the right Michaels and Rick Martel centred around Martel's attempts to steal Michaels' valet, Sensational Sherry. During one of the Michaels matches televised on August 9th, 1992, Martel come to ringside and winked at Sherry, who returned the gesture. And at the SummerSlam Spectacular, Sherry came to the ring during one of Martel's matches and winked at him. We saw that. Both Michaels and Martel were heel wrestlers who bragged about their good looks, and Sherry had them agree to knock her in the face during their SummerSlam match. And that is what we're going to see now. The rules are they're not allowed to hit each other in the face, Dan. What do you think?
Well, they're both good-looking men.
Well, the model's got rid of his puffer, and he's just for Wimbledon, isn't he?
Yes.
He is. He's all white on. He's got the. He's making quite a racket though.
But
I can see his balls in his pocket as well, Dan.
that's not his balls. That's his penis.
Well,
so who would Sherry be coming out with? Because she's not come out with Rick Martel.
She hasn't. She's coming out with the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
If you were Sherry, whose corner would you be in?
I'll have to be Shawn at the moment because he is the boy.
He is just a sexy boy.
And you can hear the entrance theme as well. It's Sherry singing the Heartbreak Kid's entrance, which I think, I'm going to be controversial here, Dan, is a better version.
I think he's cute. He's so sexy. He's got the look. This riser goes wild. Got the moves that really move me. He sends chills up and down my spine. Just my sexy boy. Sexy boy. He's not your boy toy.
Sexy boy! Boy toy!
Your singing's as good as your looks.
Sexy boy! Right, get out. No. So, a young Shawn Michaels, having only recently turned, well, I say recently, near a year ago, turned on Marty Jannetty, split the Rockers up forever, is now in singles action. Dan, how do you think Shawn Michaels looks right now?
To look at him now, you wouldn't think he'd be the star that he becomes. And fucking hell, Sherry's wearing a thong.
Sherry is wearing a thong, and it is
arseless. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yes, she is indeed arseless chaps. But it was Sherry Martel, it was Sherry, who played such a vital part in Shawn Michaels, like his heel turn and the way. If Sherry wasn't there as manager, I don't think Shawn would have got to her level. Do you know what I mean? It was really difficult to find that Heartbreak Kid character. Sherry singing the entrance theme. They helped. It was a great pairing, you know, and it led Shawn Michaels on to bigger and better things, you know. It's like the argument of if the Nation wasn't around for The Rock wouldn't have been a bigger star, do you know what I mean? It's that kind of things at that point in time.
So if Sherry wasn't around for Michaels wouldn't have been the star that he became today.
Yeah, the argument because he might not have never made work like Terry Taylor, but never really had that character. And this is the Heartbreak Kid, you know. And it's thanks to Mr. Perfect who had the idea of the Heartbreak Kid, and he said to Shawn, you know, why don't you try it? And look at the model Rick Martel. I mean, it could have been like that, you know, the model Shawn Michaels. Would it have worked as well? It's interesting times, especially when they're so young, as we see Sherry taking off Shawn Michaels' trousers. Well, I wonder what strategy is going into this. At the moment, Martel's got Shawn on the side headlock, pushing them off. This might just be pure wrestling here in the early going. It looks pretty good, Dan. It's the best we've seen so far, isn't it?
Most definitely, yeah. It's going to be a good kind of action. It's going to be an early style of proper wrestling, not like the first match, the tag team match, where it was, you know, powerhouses against heels. This is at least wrestler and,
yeah.
You know.
I mean, to be fair to Rick Martel, he did have a good career in the 80s, you know, NWA and places like that. Had the model gimmick here, and Shawn wear beautiful dropkick, making sure he doesn't hit the face, of course. But matching well in the early going. Martel finally kicking Shawn down though.
But who would win the services of Sensational Sherry?
When women were objects. Well, it still are in a certain way in WWE, but still. Oh!
Martel going for the flying crossbody, but Michaels ducking it, sending Martel crashing to the mat.
And Shawn looking so young.
With a beautiful mullet.
This is Shawn Michaels, yeah, exactly. You know what the rules are for a mullet, didn't you, Dan?
They're always beautiful.
No, it's business in the front, party in the back. That's how you know it's a mullet.
I think I'll mullet over.
Exactly, yeah. You mullet over. Oh, now beautiful wrestling between the two.
Oh, Michael's looking ready to give Martel a shot to the face. But thinking twice.
Oh, leapfrog by Martel and ducks under as well. And he's going to throw Shawn over the top. Oh,
I thought he was going to go straight into Sherry, but Sherry moved out the way.
She mooned out the way there, didn't she?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she's checking. This is PG era as well with Sherry. Going out checking on her man, Shawn Michaels. And the model out here with a delicate touch. He's saying, just leave him, he's fine. Just come here, get some space. Let him breathe. You dirty bastard. Rick Martel just with a hug to Sherry. Sherry seemed to like it. I think there's a little kiss on the neck there.
A little smile.
I don't think Sean's going to like that when he wakes up at the moment. He needs to worry about this match rather than Sherry Martel. Rather than Sherry. And then the model setting HBK up.
Oh, a high elevated back body drop and some jumping jacks for good measure.
Because he can, it's easy. He might not be liked, but he backs up in the ring. And speaking of backup, Sherry's
lovely
there.
Shot of Sherry and her arseless chaps.
I tell you what I do like, though, and it's another thing, as Sean now is going to go for the pin. We see it was, he's got the tights. Referee knows that.
Oh, but Rick rolling through and then grabbing the tights of Michaels, who then grabs the tights of Rick.
Oh, look, they're both now arses. Their asses are out, Dan. This is a brilliant moment.
Wow, if Sherry's arse wasn't enough, we've got Michael and Rick Martel's arse as well. Michaels.
Sean pulling us up. Yeah, the way it's like dusk is falling now, it's going to be night time soon. It feels like you spent a day at an event, I do like it, especially watching it, because we've got a bit of daylight here. By the time we finish, it will be deep dark into night. And Sean now, look at that, sweet chin music to the midsection, because he can't hit him in the face. Only getting a 2.
2.
It wasn't sweet chin music, it was sweet gut music. Sean working the body, of course you work the body, the head will fall off. You just enjoyed it, I can see you sitting back, you're in your nostalgia heaven, aren't you?
I feel like a kid.
Sean with the boots up, he's going to go get the cover.
Oh, but he's got both feet on the middle rope and the referee wise to it.
Sherry, what's wrong with that? Uh-oh. Model roller. Oh,
but Michael's managing to kick out. Now both men going nose to nose. Michael's shoving, then model Rick Martel shoving. It's a real shoving match.
Oh no, Michaels!
Slap to the face.
Oh!
But Martel responds in kind.
Oh, Sherry said they can't hit each other. She's on the apron. Oh!
Both men looking to hit each other in the face, and Sherry faints.
Sherry's down. Well, the match will continue. Michael's going to check on her. Oh, no! Oh,
accidentally kicks her out of the ring.
Oh, no, Sean, you might have to give her mouth-to-mouth. Fanner. He's checking on her and the ball going out there as well. I mean, this is a... I might have to put my serious face on. This is a... Serious face? My serious voice.
Put the X up.
This is tragic at the moment, and Sean Martel pushing... the model
giving
pushing...
her chest compressions.
The model pushes Sean off, and yes, chest compressions. I could seriously injure someone that's actually not... doesn't need it. Oh my word.
And Michael's hitting Martel, so he goes off the staging area. And the referee's up to the count of 10.
Oh no. Sean and Rick fighting now, so angry. And Sherry, did she stir her?
She is. She's starting to get up.
She's checking her hair. She's sorting her hair out.
Making sure her 1.5 tons of hairsprays.
She's doing Eddie before Eddie did Eddie. She's back down again. Of course it's deliberate, Bobby, as they're going down the entranceway.
She's doing it for attention, and now there's officials trying to break these two up.
And the officials taking away Rick Martel, and Sean's coming back to look on to a knocked out Sherry Martel. My God, what a chaotic end to that match.
And it's nearly daylight, nearly night time in that match. And Michael's carrying Sherry back to the back, whacks her over his shoulder. So a double count out is the result of this match.
Yeah, but I don't think it was a bad match. I actually quite enjoyed it.
It was good, but it's a shame. These types of wrestlers now are represented by Fandango and Tyler Breeze.
They are literally, you're right, Dan, the modern day equivalent of these two men. You're right about that. Shawn Michaels, Rick Martel. And the models come out here. Oh, no!
He's knocked Shawn Michaels and Sherry down, and he's picking up Sherry to carry her to the back.
Oh, what
He wants to be the knight in shining armour.
Oh, no, what a gentleman. But, yeah, doing a lot of damage to Sherry Martel. But, yeah, the model looks to have things in hand. It doesn't say that. I can see Shawn Michaels running from behind.
And Sherry takes another bump.
There we go. That's Patterson. Patterson's just gone into the barricade. He's seriously injured.
Now the officials are taking Rick Martel back, and Michaels is left to assist Sherry.
Oh, come on,
back.
Rick. How many times? And yeah, Shawn Michaels finally, and Sherry Martel's gone down 3 times in this match.
The point in actually like sitting up at the back behind the entranceway.
Well, you can't say anything, can you? The model. Oh, what the model's got? He's got a bucket. No.
So Sean, he's carrying a bucket.
No, model. What you got in there?
Confetti. I bet it's confetti.
Oh, don't do it. You'll get Sherry wet as well if there's water in there. There is water.
No, it's confetti. And he gets Sherry wet, who's then made her way to an awoken state.
She is. She's drowned. Her hairspray is now wettened. Makeup. It's a state. And Martel woke up Sherry in the worst way. Sean's gone after Rick. I don't think Sherry's going to be a fan of Rick after that, do you?
Well, who gets the services of Sherry? I mean, who does Sherry service after this?
Well, Sherry's gone running backstage, and my word. And
the Everly Brothers versus the Natural Disasters.
Yes, that is our next match, tag team titles. What a weird end to that match, eh? Yeah, backstage, though, we do see the Nasty Boys with Tom Mooney and Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart's busy tonight. Can I just say, I fucking hate the Nasty Boys. I've really got no time for them. I think they're awful. I think everything about them is terrible. The wrestling's terrible. The gimmick's terrible. The way they just shouted nonsensically in the promo. The way they wrestled. I just didn't like them, Dan. Do you like Nasty Boys? I'm going to say it. Fuck it. I'm not going to say that. You know, there were good things that happened, like the last match. Then there's awful things like the Nasty Boys.
I don't know. They're just a heel tag team, aren't they, really?
Fucking shouting nonsensically about shit. I mean, come on. Anyway, we move on to the proper. They said they are the number 1 contenders. Why aren't they getting their shot? Well, the tag team titles are next. The Natural Disasters, the tag team champions, going to go against the Beverly Brothers. And the Genius is in the ring. Dan, do you know who the Genius is?
I can't remember his name.
Larry Poffo, who is the Macho Man's... yeah, he got there eventually. Yeah, the brother of the Macho Man, Randy Savage. The Genius. See, that's the big moments that happened. The Olympics in 48, the World Cup in 66, and now in 92, SummerSlam. Oh my God, can you hear the thunder? Can you hear the rumbling? Here comes Earthquake and Typhoon, the Natural Disasters, WWE Tag Team Champions, the 92 version of the Authors of Pain Down.
They are indeed, yes, and they have to wear the belts on the shoulders because they don't fit around their waist.
They don't. I mean, Earthquake started in WWF feuding with Hulk Hogan, breaking Hogan's ribs, causing internal bleeding and all sorts of that. Went on to have success as Earthquake, didn't he? You know, along with Typhoon, Natural Disaster. We have seen Typhoon recently.
Tugboat.
We've seen him as well on Wrestling's Most Ridiculous, Dan.
Yes, he was the Shockmaster.
Yes, the Shock. So, making another appearance before he completely ruined his career in 93. He was a very popular babyface along with Earthquake as well. You can hear their reaction.
I like it when Earthquake used to jump around the ring creating an earthquake.
I saw John Tenter when I was a young child and he was doing a show in England, and I got a signed Polaroid, £10 with his signature. I know.
Have you still got it?
I know. I'm sure it's upstairs somewhere, yeah. As we start off with the Beverly Brothers going to work on Earthquake Typhoon. I mean, how are you going to beat these two big men?
Oh, they was looking to try and Irish whip Earthquake into Typhoon, but it backfired, and Earthquake ended up taking out one of the Beverly Brothers, and now they've just squashed them in between them. And I'd hate to be the filling of an Earthquake and Typhoon sandwich. I'm not sure of the difference between Bo and Blake.
No, but we'll say it's that. So Bo at the moment is getting stepped on. But I don't know a lot about the Beverly Brothers, Dan. Can you tell me a little bit more?
Mike Enos and Wayne Bloom started out in 1989 in the American Wrestling Association after being trained by Eddie Sharkey and managed by Johnny Valiant. Sporting matching ring attire and carrying sledgehammers to the ring, they were known as the Destruction Crew. They feuded with the Olympians Ken Petra and Brad Renegans and challenged them to a car lifting contest. During the challenge, the crew attacked the Olympians and in storyline injured them. The Olympians' injuries forced them to vacate the AWA Tag Team Championships, which were then placed in a tournament. The Crew went on to defeat Greg Gagne and Paul Diamond to win the title tournament on October the 1st, 1989.
Oh, wait a minute. I was just going to say, looked like Natural Disaster Complete Control, looking to squash one of the Beverly Brothers in the corner. Earthquake accidentally hit Typhoon and stopped him.
And Typhoon's down, and it's going to be a struggle for him to get back up.
Oh, an innovative and a nice tag team move there by Beverly Brothers. Oh.
And Blake looked to be going for the cover, but Typhoon threw him straight out of the ring, but was unable to get back up to his feet quick enough.
Right in front of Genius. There's a couple of nice mullets going on in this match as well.
I think Earthquakes is the best.
Yeah, I think Earthquake is the best. He's trying his best as a mullet. Sorry, Dan, you were saying about their AWA run.
Yeah, they also faced the Renegades and Paul Diamond in a steel cage match, where the former was locked out of the cage only to have his partner decimated by the Destruction Crew. The team finally lost their tag team titles on August 11th, 1990 to the Trooper and DJ Peterson. Although neither Enos nor Bloom were technically rookies, the fan voted the Destruction Crew 1989 Rookie of the Year in Pro Wrestling Illustrated, making them the only tag team to win this award.
And look at the Beverly Brothers there. The better Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas tag teaming, and like I say, been a while, been together. You can see the kind of chemistry they got with each other in this match, taken over on Typhoon.
By the end of 1990, the AWA was effectively on hiatus and would eventually shut down entirely by May 1991. The Destruction Crew's entrance theme in the AWA was a highly popular Queen song, We Will Rock You, a theme of defeating your opponents in sports and leaving them in humiliation. This was most fitting considering by the time AWA went under, they were viewed upon as a tag team with one of the best win-loss records in the history of the company.
Wow, and now the Beverleys have taken over completely on Typhoon and beaten him down. But they would move on from the AWA and join WCW. While still AWA World Tag Team Champions, the Destruction Crew joined World Championship Wrestling during the summer of 1990. In WCW, they wrestled under the mask as the Minnesota Wrecking Crew too, and were managed by Ollie Anderson and were part of the original Minnesota Wrecking Crew. I say what's really interesting about that is when Brock Lesnar and Shelton Benjamin first started in OVW, they were known as the Minnesota Wrecking Crew as well, because it's a tag team dating back to the Minnesota days where both men came from. Anyway, enough about that. They attempted without success to win the NWA World Tag Team titles from the Steiner Brothers during a brief feud with them. And then moved on to New Japan Pro Wrestling before getting to the WWF, didn't they? At the moment, there's nothing going on in the ring. The Beverly Brothers completely subdued Typhoons who waiting for that hot tag. Like I said, that's classic tag team wrestling.
On April 16th, 1991, Enos and Bloom received a tryout match for the World Wrestling Federation at Wrestling Challenge taping in Cedar Rapids. 1991, the team were transformed into Bo and Blake, the Beverly Brothers, now wearing flamboyant purple tights and capes to the ring. Their gimmick was that of two spoilt rich brats. They were originally managed by coach John Tolos, then by the Genius. After making a WWF pay-per-view debut on the winning team at Survivor Series 91, they were launched into feuds with the Legion of Doom, the Bushwhackers, who they defeated at the 1992 Royal Rumble, and the Natural Disasters, who they are going against now.
Yeah, so this is them. We're up to date with them. A little bit of history what happened to afterwards, but in this match, it is all Beverly Brothers, and Typhoon haven't been able to get out to Earthquake. Earthquake conserving his energy now. You just know he's taking. I bet he's loving this match, Earthquake. He's like, yeah, I get to stand here.
He's still out of breath just standing there.
Now, Beverly Brothers impressed me as a tag team here, Dan. I don't know about you.
They are certainly working well together, and you were Sports Illustrated Tag Team Champions of the World.
Rookie Tag Team of the Year, 1989.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Excitement in my voice means something has happened. Yes, Typhoon has clotheslined the Beverly Brothers in their corner. Can he get the tag to Earthquake? No.
Bo managed to get himself in between Typhoon and Earthquake, stopping the tag.
He believes that he can win this match, but Typhoon's caught him. Oh, no.
Oh, but Blake drop-kicking Bo onto Typhoon, but Typhoon not being able to stay down and kicking out.
I thought we had new tag team champions then. Typhoon is in all sorts of trouble. This is going to be a disaster for this tag team if they can't get the win.
It's going to be a natural disaster.
And these brothers. Oh!
And Typhoon there, face first, slamming Bo into the mat. Think about Vince.
Oh, and the Genius has passed him that scroll he used. Referee's distracted by Earthquake. And the Earthquake there. Oh, this is not good. Typhoon in trouble.
Oh, gets that metal scroll to the back.
But referee's not in position. He's got him covered. We're going to have new tag team champions if referee sees it.
Earthquake in. Oh, big elbow drop to the back of Bo.
And that might be the chance that Typhoon needed. He has not had a great night. He's going to try and tag in. Earthquake, change things. Oh, my word. Can he get a tag? Well, Blake's in.
Oh, yes. Finally gets a tag to Earthquake, and Blake is in all sorts of trouble now.
Oh, no. And look at those clubbing right hands down by Earthquake.
Throws him halfway across the ring.
Well, you don't get many earthquakes in England, but tonight...
Oh, belly-to-belly suplex.
We've just had one. He's calling for it. It's going to be all over and done with.
Is he going to bounce about, causing some earthquakes and some aftershocks? Shoulder first in the corner.
Oh, look at that beautiful karate kick there by Earthquake. But it's called the other Beverly brother in. They're going to try and double team. They've not been successful.
Earthquake runs straight through them.
They have not been a successful double team.
And now Typhoon comes in and clears the ring.
Here we go. It's the end. Typhoon's going to Irish whip Earthquake into him. Oh! Picks him up, slams him down.
And that's it, Earthquake end. Bouncing about the ring.
Oh, Dan loves it. Here we go. Here comes Earthquake.
Takes out Bo.
Oh!
Sits on Blake for the victory.
My word, Earthquake and Typhoon defend their tag titles, and that is a classic tag team match, Dan.
And the Genius is calling the referee over to complain. Earthquake drags him in the ring.
And now he's going to have to eat humble pie. This is not a great moment for him. Natural Disaster is picking him up. Oh my God!
Throwing him out the ring like a javelin and getting rid of the trash.
And there you have it. The Beverly Brothers miss out on their chance, but very impressive by Natural Disasters. Dan, what do you think of the match?
I thought it was brilliant. Bloody great match. I loved it. Yeah, Earthquake and Typhoon completely dominant. The fans did it, and so did I.
I thought it was a cracker, yeah. I mean, it's for me, I'm writing him down, and that's my second favourite match of the night at the moment.
After Michaels.
After the Michaels one, yeah. I've got, I'll give you the scores so far. LOD Money Inc. got 3 out of 5 for me. Nails Virgil got 1 out of 5. HBK versus Models 4 out of 5. Beverly's versus Naturals 3.5 out of 5. Because I know it's going to be a 5 out of 5 later tonight as well. So, but we're backstage.
The New Zealand crazy bunch. Luke and Butch, the Bushwhackers. Lick his head.
Childhood come to life.
Lick his head, Butch.
Another shouty tag team. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're crazy. They're allowed.
No, I like the Bushwhackers.
Mr. Perfect's going to be in, Mean Gene.
They're asking Mean Gene's seen if anybody's got the inside scoop. We should say about the Beverly Brothers, Dan. After they're unsuccessfully challenged for the titles, by the later part of 92, they would be used primarily to put over other tag teams, and they were losing end of an 8-man tag team match at Survivor Series, and defeated by their old rivals, Steiner Brothers, at the 93 Royal Rumble.
Lick his head. Lick Mean Gene.
It's Peyton Royce and Billy Kay's parents. Hey!
Who's mum and dad?
Mum and dad. Who's the butcher one? Hey!
The one on the right.
Hey!
Oh, they didn't lick Mean Gene's head.
Fuck them. Right, anyway. Well, we see a whispering Lord Alfred Hayes backstage trying to get a word out of the Ultimate Warrior. And I find the door is open.
Get slammed shut. Well, I must say, that was absolutely rude of the Ultimate Warrior. Mean Gene, back to you.
Yeah, next up, it's getting better and better, Dan. It's Repo Man versus Crash. Dan doing his best Repo Man. Oh, this is brilliant.
I love this.
Yeah. We should do this every week. Repo Man.
Cut up a load of car tyres and stuck them to a jacket.
Former tag team champion with Demolition, but he's doing his best work now. And like I say, really cool jacket. And his opponent, well... Clash. Clash like a Hawaiian Crush as well. Possibly my favourite Crush.
See, we know. I was in that crowd.
Coming out here as Nighttime Falls at Wembley Stadium.
And Nighttime Falls at Roland Studios.
But like I say, what was so deadly about Crush, Dan?
His crush. And the Repo Man attacking Crush as soon as the bell rings with double axe handle smashes to the back, but Crush completely no sells. And again, another beautiful mullet on display.
Oh, it is wonderful. Repo Man is up. Gorilla Press. Look at this.
The power of Crush compels you.
Wow. Absolutely brilliant there by Crush. Big man. Repo to the outside. And look at the agility of Crush managing to just dive down.
And then clotheslines the Repo Man down to the wafer-thin mats. Throws him back in the ring. Oh, Repo Man offering to shake Crush's hand, but the Crush grabs it and just boots him a couple of times in the midsection. Oh, the Repo Man going for a flying crossbody, but Crush catches him. Much to Repo Man's surprise, and Crush just deposits him on the top rope.
Oh, my word.
A bit of Shinsuke Nakamura going on there.
It is kidney punches and a huge kick. And Crush looking so impressive here.
Whatever happened with him?
Yeah, exactly. Why did it go all wrong? And Crush Irish Whip and Repo.
And a thunderous backbreaker there.
Very bright as well. That's what I like about Crush, you know. What kind of...
He's an early days John Cena, but a devious thumb to the eye from the Repo Man. The heelish Repo Man.
Yes.
Creeping behind Crush, where he's partially blinded.
Maybe Crush got there on a bicycle tonight. That's why he's wearing that lycra kit.
Spandex.
High
oh,
vis.
spandex.
Yeah, high vis. Oh, Repo Man there. Back suplex.
But a Crush completely no selling it and a kick to the midsection.
Oh.
Belly to belly slam and the Crush is raising the roof here.
He is. I can't believe how bright he is. And now Repo... been slammed down. Crush is not going to the top, is he? God, with the agility of the big man. Oh,
going for that big knee off the top, but the Repo Man moved out of the way and Crush got nothing but canvas. But Crush hulking up.
Repo say, no, I don't want any of this.
Big guy. No, man. Big guy.
No. Oh!
And another blatant poke to the eye and the referee's telling him that's 2. You got 5 more chances.
Yeah. Well, Repo now in control, looking to finish Crush. As I say
Irish
that.
Whip reversal. Crush looking for a Repo Man to go for a leapfrog, but Repo Man just throws Crush's head into the canvas.
Cover. Oh.
And another aggressive kick out.
Not as good as Typhoon one, but Repo Man on the outside.
Repo Man creeping around the outside of the ring, going up top.
This is the most I've seen Repo Man in any match I've watched of him. And from behind on Crush.
Oh, but Crush catches him in a power slam.
No.
He's not going to go for a pin. He could have pinned him easily there, but he's going to make him submit with a cranium crush.
Oh, he's got it in.
He's squeezing his head like it's a pimple, JR.
Oh, my God. He's got to be. Oh, he's out. He is out.
No man can take much more than 5 seconds of the cranium crunch.
He has crushed Repo Man here tonight. Very impressive. Dan, what do you think of the match?
Loved it. It was a complete squash match, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
And I'm amazed to see that the Crush didn't do much more in his career.
Exactly. We'll be looking at Crush as we go along. Not now, but, you know, later dates and stuff, because he does get involved with the nation. He looked fantastic here. It was like, you know, when Ryback first debuted or something like that, and they stick him in there. Repo Man's brilliant. Even when he got thrown out of the ring, he still lands, and he's like, what's going on, you know? As we move on, and up next, it's a big WWF title match.
Due to the absence of Hulk Hogan, who has taken a break from the ring, the co-main event saw WWE Champion Macho Man Randy Savage duel with the Ultimate Warrior.
Their pair had been feuding since the summer of 1990, with Savage costing Warrior the world title at the Royal Rumble 91, and Warrior defeated Savage in a retirement match at WrestleMania 7.
When Savage became champion at WrestleMania 8 by besting Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, and his manager, Mr. Perfect, were furious that the ex-champion did not receive a rematch.
Well, ahead of SummerSlam Night 2, they interfered in Savage and Warrior bouts, and Perfect declared he would appear in the corner of one of the two rivals, but would not reveal which one. But Mean Gene's backstage.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are just moments away from tonight's main event. We are just moments away from the World Wrestling Federation Championship match between the Macho Man Randy Savage and the Ultimate Warrior. And after a lot of waiting, we are just moments away from finding out just exactly whose corner Mr. Perfect will be in. There's a lot of history, ladies and gentlemen, leading up to this championship match. As you recall, from the moment the match was signed, controversy abounded.
And I'm the World Wrestling Federation champion, and you're not.
Oh, my goodness. Well, he's not right now, that's for sure, but he might be at Wembley Stadium. What a matchup we're going to have between these two. Wait a minute, Ultimate Warrior grabbing Mean Gene, leading him down. We may have a match right here. Wait a minute, what's this? What? Ric Flair and Mr. Perfect going to the ring.
You know why? Because I'm the Macho Chicken. Ooh, yeah!
Randy Savage is headed right in. Yes, there he goes. He almost ran over the cameraman. Randy Savage going up to Ric Flair. Hammering Ric Flair. Mr. Perfect pulled off his belt. What's he doing? Oh, no. Ultimate Warrior coming in to help out. Ric Flair takes a right hand. Perfect takes off.
Last week.
And then there was the interruption of the Ultimate Warrior's interview by Ric Flair.
Macho Man was trying to cut a deal with the Perfect One to walk the aisle as his manager at SummerSlam against you. I'm gonna be at SummerSlam.
And then Macho Man Randy Savage interview interrupted by Mr. Perfect.
The Ultimate Warrior's corner. I will be there. Therefore, the ante for Mr. Perfect's services at SummerSlam has just gone sky high.
And then the very controversial tag team matchup with the Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man Randy Savage as partners.
Oh, nice tag. Very friendly tag. Yes. Oh, look at that tag. Look. The Warrior now. This isn't going to work out. Well, thus far, it is working. No question, it is working big time. Wait a minute. Oh, no. Randy Savage had his back turned on the Ultimate Warrior. And now Savage looks up, and all he sees is the Warrior. Yeah, he hits you, Savage. He hits you. Hey, wait a minute, he did not. The Macho Man Randy Savage with Brian Nelson. Oh, the helmet. Did you see that? Jimmy Hart's helmet used by Sags a moment ago, and they just pulled up the Macho Man. And now, Jimmy Hart was going after the Warrior, I think. No, look out, from behind, from behind. Look at this. What's going on, Bobby? What's going on, Bobby? It's Perfect and Flair. What's going on? They jumped the Warrior. They jumped the Warrior. Yes, but look what they're doing to the Ultimate Warrior. Oh, no. The referee is still unconscious. Oh, look at that. Randy Savage was just nailed over the head with a chair. He's down. Meanwhile, look at this. Savage being kicked. He's almost unconscious. Meanwhile, the double team effort continues on the Warrior as well as the Macho Man Randy Savage. What is going on here? Well, the way it looks to me is they better get some help out here. This referee can't control it. He's out cold. I mean, I've never seen anything like this before. The Nasty Boys on the other side of the ring, double teaming the Macho Man Randy Savage. He's out. Meanwhile, look at this. Perfect and Flair, who have no business being at ringside. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, oh. What kind of shape is Savage going to be in for the match at Summer? Oh, no.
I've never seen Savage, the Ultimate Warrior, or any two people take a beating like this.
Ric Flair chopping away on the Ultimate Warrior. My goodness, what a beating. Flair in perfect now, taking off. Randy Savage still being double teamed. He has no idea what has happened on the other side of the ring.
And the Warrior's going after Ric Flair.
The Warrior's gone after Mr. Perfect. But look, he's been beaten. He's been pummeled. As Perfect and Flair take off. The Ultimate Warrior hot on their heels.
Each man is totally convinced that the other will have Mr. Perfect in his corner. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's wait no longer. Here we go with the main event at SummerSlam.
All right, Dan, so what do you think of the build-up towards this, well, one of these main event matches on SummerSlam?
It's certainly been intense, and I'm excited to see which corner Mr. Perfect's going to be in, because I think he's going to be the difference maker in this match between these two immortals.
Most definitely.
Most definitely.
Most definitely, I completely agree with you. You know, since WrestleMania 8 with Savage beating Flair, Flair has got an actual right to say he hasn't had his rematch yet. And this is what his problem has been, you know, with Mr. Perfect by his side. With Macho Man, we know the history he's had with Ultimate Warrior. It's not often you see a face versus face match, is it? And to have that kind of storyline of Perfect being in the corner, one of them, both of them believing he's in the other one's corner, it brings that kind of interest to it, where it's not just a normal one-on-one match. You know, it's got all these other different things around it. And even in the build-up, they've actually had to be teaming up together to try and take on Flair and the people, you know?
Most definitely. And, yeah, so it's a really interesting angle, you know, this match. And you don't get storylines like this anymore, I think.
You don't. There's a lot of thought put into it. As the Ultimate Warrior is coming out here, Dan, does this take you back 80,000 fans at Wembley Stadium watching the Warrior run down to the ring?
And he is going to be fucking knackered by the time he gets there. Well, Mr. Perfect hasn't come out with Ultimate Warrior, so will he be coming out with Macho Man, Randy Savage?
It'll be interesting to see as a
fan.
fan.
And talking of Randy, you can listen to our Randy
no more plugs. but, you know, come on now. But Bret Hart will be in the main event. If you listen to Bret Hart special, as Warrior comes out here, what a reaction he's getting from the crowd. Love to see him. He returned at WrestleMania 8. And many people thought because he had lost a little bit muscle and dyed his hair, it wasn't the same Ultimate Warrior. But rest assured, it is, as we see his manic entrance. How big a fan of Ultimate Warrior were you as a child, Dan?
I loved him. I loved his energy. I just loved how, you know, his strength and just the way, you know, just his general mannerisms.
Yeah, I know. He's just, as a child, like I said earlier about Legion Doom watching up, this guy is a real-life superhero coming out here, face paint, you know, it is fantastic experience. And here we go, we hear Land of Hope and Glory. And it's, who is it, Dan?
Macho Man!
The Macho Man! WWF Champion. Oh, it's great to see him, and both of these men so colourful as well. It's fantastic. It is childhood revisit. Anybody's never seen this event before. Yes, you could argue the wrestling has not been great, but it's just the whole thing. Look at
theatrics of it.
I know it is a WrestleMania, isn't it? Really? If you think
most
about
definitely.
It. True main event: Savage and Warrior. Warrior and Savage. Dan, I can't wait. And we've seen so much of Macho Man Randy Savage this year. It's one of those goals I wanted to say. Savage was one of those guys we haven't seen a lot, and we've seen him so much now. It's fantastic.
We've not seen many Warrior matches, though.
No, because he's shit wrestler. But we are going to see him when we get the chance. Like we say, we try and follow it, and we do it like 20 years, 25 years, 10 years. It all makes sense. 25 years ago at SummerSlam. Is this bigger than the SummerSlam main event we got this year?
This year?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, come on.
What would you rather see? This main event or to Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura?
I'd rather watch this. These are two...
Well, you sit and watch this upstairs and I'll sit down here and watch Nakamura.
These two men here, we talk about wrestling. Yes, Hogan was king, but these two men sat atop that throne a couple of times. And in Hogan's absence now, these two men are the big guns, you know, Macho Man, Randy Savage and Ultimate Warrior. And to see them face off against each other as well. Two good guys. The fans are in for a treat. But Mr.
Perfect
Yeah, go on.
has not shown his face.
He's not, has he? I was wondering about that. Didn't come out with Randy Savage. And now look at the rabbit. Look at the crowd going absolutely mental.
No, I'm wearing brighter colours. Both wearing fluorescent pinks, greens, yellows, and oranges. Macho Man offering a handshake in front of all these hundreds, tens of thousands.
Come on, shake his hand, Warrior. We're in for a hell of a WWF title match.
Warrior
saying about respect. Are you backing in this one, Dan?
I'm going to go with the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh. Why?
Because growing up, he was always my favourite. As a youngster, I idolised the Warrior.
I've got to say Randy Savage because I always like my wrestlers who hit women. That's why I'm a huge fan of Steve Austin as well. No, I've got to say Randy Savage because he's going to use his veteran experience. He's been there, done that, hasn't he? So I think he's got a little bit more edge on Warrior.
Once the Warrior starts shaking the ropes, it's going to be all over for Savage.
Here we go. First lock-up as the fans are absolutely banana. Oh, Savage won that one.
The Warrior let him. Night Skies of SummerSlam. Night Skies in the studio.
Yeah, the Warrior showed his strength as night has come upon us. Has thrown the Macho Man down. The Macho Man's up low. Huge clothesline to Warrior.
Oh, and a back clothesline. Savage gets the Warrior down, but the Warrior kicking out with ease.
Showing the power yet again. Now Macho up to the
top rope.
No, yeah. Sorry, you're right. Oh,
but gets caught in the midsection by the Warrior, who's drawing the energy from the thousands of fans in the arena.
Oh, he's got Macho up.
Oh, atomic drop there to Savage.
Oh, my word. I don't know which way it's going to go at the moment as the Warrior has picked up Macho. He's walking around. Do you think this is over already? Oh,
and an inverted atomic drop there.
And Warrior's got the fans on his side. Well, the crowd's
drawing the energy from the fans, James.
The little Warriors.
Pulling it in.
Yeah,
the little Warriors.
The little Warriors. Well, the Macho Man can fight it. Oh, my God.
No, he can't.
With that clothesline. Oh.
Macho Man managing to kick out, but not with as much authority as the Warrior did.
No, the Warrior now knocking Macho down. Oh,
the big shoulder block takedowns. Oh, goes to drop the big elbow, but Savage moved.
That's it. Come on, Macho.
Now he's laying into Warrior, the big right hands, follows it up with a knee drop.
Yeah, he's going to get him down. No.
Oh, but the Warrior managing to kick out.
And now Macho knows if he wants to beat the Warrior, he can't just he can't shoot his load early. He has to wear the Warrior down, get him in a sleeper hold, try and take the energy out. Because, like you say, the Warrior relies on the fans.
Oh, lovely jawbreaker there to get some separation by the Warrior.
Oh, my word. Macho's a little bit of trouble. And the Warrior doesn't need a lot, does he, to get himself started? Just a couple of moves. So damaging, so powerful.
Face first into the canvas. Oh, but Savage there with a bit of a kick out. And he kicked out like he meant it.
He wants to stamp his authority in this match. Doesn't want to be easy pickings for the Warrior.
Big Irish rip to the corner.
Oh, and the thing about this, what we have to look at, Macho Man, Warrior looks impressive as well because of the way Macho's selling stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, get knocked down by that huge right hand there. Picked up again. The way he bounces up and down, letting the Warrior get momentum in this match. He is one of my favourite performers of all time, Randy Savage. Is he going to get Irish?
Oh, an Irish whip with authority. Big kicks by the Warrior.
Well,
he's got so much energy.
Is the Warrior stumping a mud hole and walking it dry?
I think he's caving Macho Man's chest in, to be honest, James.
Yeah, it looks that way as the Warrior shaking those ropes. Like I say, so much energy to come running down there. I mean, if I ran down from the entranceway to the ring, I'd still be recovering now, let alone in the midst of a title match. Bear with. You got any water. And the Warrior go for the big right hand. Oh, Savage trying to pull him off. Oh, and he does.
And pulls him face first into the top turnbuckle.
That is an interesting look that the Warrior's wearing, isn't it? You know, that singlet.
Yeah.
Looks like, is it in a body?
It looks like Ali's outfit for WrestleMania 9.
Maybe they went to the same place. Gonzalez saw it and thought, yeah, I'll look good in that. Macho
eliminates the Warrior from the Royal Rumble.
Warrior's in serious trouble. Here comes Savage.
Oh, leaps over the top rope, but lands on the wafer-thin mats just to throw Warrior back in.
Exerted a lot of energy there where he probably didn't have to. You're right. It goes to the pin.
2. Oh, but Warrior managing to power out at 2.
2. And now the Warrior in a little bit of trouble. This has been nice back and forth so far. As Macho is going to the top. Oh!
Double axe smash to the head of Warrior, but the Warrior's just going to run it off.
It is entertaining. I'm sorry. Anybody not enjoying this?
Savage going up top for a second. Oh, knocking the Warrior down. 1, 2.
Oh. Kick out.
Oh.
Macho can't believe it. And is he going to go up stairs again? It may be... He has to bring out all his biggest weapons, doesn't he? To put the Warrior away. And off the top rope, another double axe handle. No!
Gets caught by the Warrior. The power of the Ultimate Warrior.
One arm Warrior has got Macho. This is unbelievable action. It's not slowed down once.
Oh, big backbreaker. Goes for the cover. 2. Oh, Savage managing to kick out.
But Savage has to exert so much energy there when the Warrior's his whole muscular body's on top of you. You're just trying to at least get a shoulder up and now being caught with those right hands.
Throwing him into the corner.
Or even though these two might have mutual respect.
Big Irish whip there. And the Warrior absorbing in some more energy from the little Warriors.
They are not showing each other any respect in this match. They're laying it in.
Neither man is giving up an inch.
Warrior again, Irish whip. Oh! And this is it. The Warrior, like I say, feeling it. Whipping Macho Man from pillar to post at the moment.
And every time he Irish whips Savage, the ring must move about an inch or 2.
But this is what it means when you're wrestling for the biggest title in the history of sports entertainment.
And now he's going for the big bear hug, trying to squeeze the life out of Savage and just drops him to the mat.
Yeah,
like
he might already have
ragdoll.
it. Sorry for interrupting there. I thought he had it already.
Savage managing to kick out.
And the power of the Warrior. Macho has an offensive move. In a couple of minutes, needs to be careful. And Warrior now, what's he going to look for?
Sidewalk slam with authority. Goes for the cover. 2. Oh. But the heart in Savage. But the heart in Savage, I mean, he's just got a great big heart.
Well, this is the question. Is it going to fall? Wait a minute.
Oh. 2. Oh. Savage with a small package.
But Warrior managing to kick out. Well, this is the thing. Is Warrior being... by not hooking a leg, is he being too overconfident at the moment, or is he frustrating, or what Warrior Macho Man is, by showing his heart and determination?
I think the Macho Man is a lot cleverer than the Warrior.
Yeah.
Warrior is a big muscly dumbass.
So do you think like Ali versus Foreman, he's kind of letting Warrior punch himself out and then recover?
rope-a-dope.
Yeah, he's going to recover and then beat Warrior that way.
Well, maybe, but again, we're yet to see Perfect.
Yes, Perfect is going to play a pivotal role in this match. You can just tell so much build-up for it. And at the moment, Macho Man managing to drop Warrior. And now he's trying to get the fans on side. Oh!
Savage there, very athletically, grabbing hold of Warrior's head, top rope, and just hanging Warrior up on the top there. 2.
Get him, no! Man, just get his shoulder up at 2.
2.
This has been a war between these two legends in the ring.
Can Savage keep Warrior down long enough to deliver that devastating elbow from the top?
I don't think he can. We haven't seen Warrior in a lot of trouble in this. Like I say, how powerful he still is with kickouts, how strong he is, and the way he's beating down Savage.
Savage going for a suplex there, but his back just gave out from that continuous beating by Warrior. The Warrior's just shaking a bit of life back into himself, and hopefully going to go back on the offense. Oh, the big clubbing blow to the bottom of the back of Savage.
Well, we say Warrior's not that clever, but he's noticed the lower back of Savage is hurting, and he's zeroing on that now. And like you say, the lower back hurt, to be able to lift the Warrior, who is such a big dude, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. And now it looks like the Warrior calling on the fans again to try and get energy.
Front face locked by the Warrior. But is the Warrior feeling the effects of Savage?
Well, Macho has been brilliant in this match so far. The Warrior trying to get him up. Oh,
1, 2.
No.
Savage with a kick out.
And again not hooking a leg, and Savage reaching out for the bottom rope.
Well, as you mentioned before, is the Warrior tired himself out. I mean, he ran to the ring. He's always full of so much energy, and his matches don't normally last this long.
And the thing is, with the crowd, usually 100% of the crowd are behind you. Now they're split 50-50 the Macho. So it's going to be difficult for the Warrior as Macho's up against the ropes.
He can't absorb as much energy from 50% as he would do from the whole crowd.
As we see there with a clothesline by Warrior. Macho Man dodging out of the way. Warrior going splat on those wafer-thin blue mats on the outside.
Now Savage going up top.
Warrior just barely to his feet.
Oh, a double axe handle smash to the back of Warrior's head. Sends him rolling off the elevated stage area there that the ring's on.
And the Macho's not giving up. But I'm going to say something now. It's going to be weird. I mean, I love high-flying matches. I love well-contested matches with a lot of moves. They seem to be doing basic wrestling moves, but it seems to mean more because they've got more timing with it. Do you know what I mean? It's like a suplex there. I thought, fucking hell, that's a big move. And I was like, hang on a minute, it's just a suplex. But because of the way they're portraying the story of the match as well.
Oh, most definitely.
You know,
it is, brilliant storytelling, even though it's nothing compared to the wrestling skills that you get nowadays. It is just basic manoeuvres they're doing here. But they're doing them so well.
And I think the entertainment factor is just the same, maybe a little bit more, because we know what the prize means, And now Savage on the outside with Warrior.
And Warrior's looking absolutely spent there, trying to keep himself up.
Well, he's just been thrown head first into the ring post. The Savage now goes straight after the Warrior. And I don't know in the history of Ultimate Warrior he's ever been in this much trouble right here. And it has gone a long time as well. It's an excellent point you made. Definitely over 15 minutes now. Savage going for the cover. And Macho Man, getting a kick out. Warrior kicking out. What's happened, Dan?
Ric Flair and Mr. Perfect are making their way down to ringside. As setting Warrior up for the powerbomb, but Warrior have lifted Savage over his back, and Savage managing to roll through for the cover. But Warrior kicking out and then delivering a clothesline to Savage, who he then pins, but Savage managing to get the shoulder up at 2.
A lot happened there, but you kept updated with it, Dan, as the Warrior is going to slam Macho Man as Flair and Perfect slowly walking down. They're both smirking.
No, they're not, James. They just got a grin on their face. They've not got a cigarette.
And now, where's the Warrior going? He went on the apron and decided to come back in. Because he's building up his energy, isn't he? Here we go.
You have to get closer to the fans.
Oh!
Looking for his patented running splash. But Savage manages to get the knees up and delivers them to the midsection of the Warrior.
Oh my God, and Perfect. So cool coming out his suit and booted. Spit out his gum, just swatted it away because he is perfect. Curtis Axel, another guy, never going to be anything like his dad was. Oh, and as I was talking about Axel, looks like Macho Man Randy Savage nearly had Warrior.
But do you notice he was close to the ropes to be able to get his hand on the ropes, but he chose to kick out?
Because that is what the character is all about. Every wrestler you've seen here, even though it might be a little bit childish, defines them who they are. Oh my God! Both men running the ropes there so fast, and a double. Both men down, and now Flair and Perfect at ringside. Which way is this gonna go? The crowd loves it. I loves it. 25 years ago, and Shirt Stealer or Hebner. Is he going to count both men out? Referee's up to 8, 9. No!
Oh, Warrior managing to get the cover. Oh, but Savage with the kick out.
And
now Savage with the cover.
Oh!
Sorry to interrupt you there, but we're both going to say the same thing.
Well, no, I've never seen someone being covered, kicking out, and then being in the covering position. Oh!
Savage looking ready to run the ropes, but gets his legs swept from underneath him by Mr. Perfect, and the referee didn't see it.
Warrior sold out. Warrior sold and Flair must be in the Ultimate Warrior's dressing room because they've just tripped up Macho Man. Titles on the line. Oh my God. An Ultimate Warrior, I can't believe it's sold out. Macho, turn round. Turn round, Macho.
Oh, a clubbing right hand from the Warrior, knocking Savage off his feet.
But has Warrior got any energy? Is he struggling now to get Macho Man up? Oh my God.
Just picks him up and throws him into the corner.
Power of Warrior there, nearly breaking Macho's neck. And look at Flair and Perfect. I can't believe it.
In cahoots with the Warrior.
One of my favourite words. Cahoots. And Warrior going to Irish whip Macho. Oh!
But Warrior kind of reverses it and goes back into the corner Savage come from. But Earl Hebner was in the way and inadvertently took out the referee.
And now it's just... And Warrior... Oh!
Big slam there by the Ultimate Warrior.
This is a perfect shooting a glance at Ric Flair or us, I don't know.
He was looking at me.
And the Warrior going to go up.
Very rarely does the Warrior go up top.
Well, with the WWF title on the line, Warrior wants to give it his all. Even though he has sided with Perfect and Flair. Here comes Warrior.
Double axe handle smashed to the head of Savage.
This is it.
He's got the cover. 1, 2, 3. And the Warrior's counted 3.
Referee's in position.
2. Oh, but Savage emphatically kicking out.
Emphatically. And Warrior can't believe it. You should have hurt the leg, mate. I'm just saying. Hashtag just saying. He wants the title. He's gesticulating to the referee. It's 3 against 1 at the moment. Oh, Macho now.
Oh. Hits Warrior in the back, who inadvertently takes out the referee, and Earl Hebner's gone through the ropes.
And now Macho's got Warrior up for the pile driver. Oh!
Seated pile driver on the Warrior.
Referee's not there. Referee's not there, and he would have had the 3 count. Macho checking where the referee is.
Now Perfect trying to wake the Warrior up.
Oh, this is disgusting. Referee's down. Perfect helping his new best friend. What?
Oh! So Perfect and Flair was working with Savage.
What?
And not the Warrior.
But he tripped Macho and Flair's just knocked Warrior out with some brass nuts. And Savage is reviving the referee. I don't believe this.
Savage signalling the end.
We don't need to pick him out. He's knocked out. Macho doesn't know this. You asked what it would do to keep down the Warrior for the elbow. And I think Warrior's already dead weight.
Oh, scoop slam.
So Flair and Perfect were working with Savage. I don't know where else this could go. Savage now to the top. Elbow drop. Ooh, yeah. Beautiful. I nearly overjumped it. Landed on his feet with the elbow drop, Savage there.
Oh, Hebner is struggling to get across. 1,
2. Oh!
Savage had a handful of tights, but the Warrior managing to kick out.
And Warrior showed his toughness, and now what's Perfect's and Flair's plan? How are they going to beat How are they going to beat Warrior?
Well, they're both intelligent men. I'm sure they're going to come up with something.
Well, they're in heat tournament, and the Warrior now. What's happening with the Warrior?
He's convulsing, I think.
Savage trying to stop him, but it's not working.
He's drawing the energy from the fans, James. I'm sending you my energy, Warrior.
Oh, my word.
Take it, Warrior.
Savage can't stop Warrior at the moment.
No, nothing can stop Warrior when he's shaking the ropes, James. I said this at the beginning.
Well, he's on the blue rope. He's on the white rope. If he goes to the red rope, Savage is in trouble. He's in trouble.
Oh, he's marching on the spot. He is warrioring up now.
And Savage right hand didn't have any effect.
And one big right hand from the Warrior, followed by a clothesline, another clothesline, and a third.
Savage managed to get up 3 times. Not now, though. Warrior's got him in position. Here we go. Oh,
big shoulder block takedown.
And you know what's next?
The power slam.
I don't believe. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. Mr. Perfect looking on. Can't believe the power of the Warrior.
I can believe it.
I know you backed him to begin with. I should have done. And now Savage in perfect position.
In Mr. Perfect position.
Oh! Gorilla press.
Gorilla press slam. Drops him face first. Oh, missed.
Oh!
But he didn't miss with a chair to the back of the Warrior.
Well, Perfect missed Warrior grabbing the Warrior's leg, but that distracted him long enough to not see Flair swinging that chair. Hit Warrior in the back. And now the Macho Man's got his plan. And is he going to pin for the Ultimate Warrior right now? I didn't see it.
You're a poet and you didn't even realise.
Nobody's perfect. And now Savage, pedigree time. No, Savage. He's already hit one elbow. Do you think of what each man have gone through in this match?
It's been a hellacious match already, and Savage is wondering why he's not been pinned for the title. I mean, you know, Warrior's down. How did he go down? Why did he go down?
And now Savage, yeah, got that quizzical look. He's like, what happened there, brother? I didn't do it.
But nonetheless...
Well, just Flair saying, look, just take advantage of it. Oh, and Perfect.
Taking Savage's leg, and Savage trying to kick dodged it.
He would have knocked his front teeth out. And Savage, well, what type of man is he? Is he going to take this victory with the elbow drop?
Well, you know, it wasn't him that done anything, so why not?
But it was Flair and Perfect. Not this way, Macho. Not this way.
But nonetheless, he's going to the top.
Oh, WF title on the line, like you say. But Savage, looking at us. Oh!
Turns his attentions to Flair, who swats him away with a steel chair.
Oh! Well, the Macho Man's plan is just being ripped up into shreds. Because Flair just assaulted him.
With a chair.
Flair with a chair. And our referee counting.
Very quickly.
And there you go, yeah, the quickest count in the world. Macho's been counted out. And oh my God, Flair and Perfect now the assault. Oh!
They're going to break the ankle, James.
It looks like they're severely injuring that leg. And Flair with a figure four.
Woo!
Oh my word. I don't believe this. Perfect beating down Macho Man and Flair. So this was the plan all along, just to cause chaos, was it?
Well, it seems like they're on neither man's side. I mean, they hit Warrior with the chair and the brass knuckles, and then they've assaulted Savage, who went to go to take out Ric Flair, and then got swatted away with a chair.
Well, I can't believe it. Warrior's up low. The Flair has got the chair.
Oh, but Warrior grabs the chair off of...
Now he's going to use it over there. No. Energy of Warrior still. Fair play to him.
No one can outrun the Warrior.
No, he's chasing after Flair. With the chair, he throws at him.
And beats his chest like he's King Kong. Well, he must be pissed off. He's had his opportunity at the title taken away from him by these two deviants.
That's true. Warrior has won the match, but he didn't win the championship thanks to Flair and Perfect. And you got fate of Macho Man's leg, and the Warrior coming back down with a steel chair. It's not going to end well for Macho.
Well, he's dropped the chair. He's getting back in the ring.
Well, he's in serious trouble. The Warrior checking on him, and I got to say, what a performance by both men. And how is this going to end now? Well, like I said, the official announcement, Warrior won the match,
but didn't get the title.
Oh, I thought the Warrior was going to be a gentleman then. Oh no, wait a minute.
He snatched the title off the timekeeper. Well, he won the match. He should get the title, James.
Well, he's got the title in hand. Is he going to walk away with it, or he's going to hit Macho Man Randy Savage over the head with it?
Well, both seem like logical options.
Yeah, they do.
Well, he could just give it to Savage.
Well, what
and
about
the title
belt? Yeah. Savage holding that leg. It looks to be in serious trouble. And on Warrior looking at the gold. That could have been his if it wasn't for Flair and Perfect. And, oh my word.
Is he going to pick him up to Gorilla Press slam him? No. He's being a gentleman and putting the title in Savage's hands and raising it, because Warrior is a true gentleman.
Well, what a moment between these two men to show the respect after that, Macho is still champion, Warrior helping him. What a moment for these two. Hogan is, like we say, it's all about Hogan, but this is a moment in time where Macho and Warrior were stars in their own right, and what a fucking moment, and what a match, Dan.
Brilliant fucking match. You know, it's not your classic type of wrestling that you see nowadays, but, you know, the match, it just shows two warriors, two masters of the ring. You know, Warrior wasn't the most gifted athlete, but he certainly performance inside that squared circle.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I can't say any more. You know, I thought I would enjoy this pay-per-view, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Not just a nostalgic feel, but the way, you know, especially in this match, in this moment here, it does bring tears to my eye, you know, because it just, you remember both these men now, of course, especially with the tragedy, what's happened to the Warrior and Macho Man since then, unfortunately, long being with us. It's a hell of a moment. Yeah, so after that, we see Mean Gene interviewing Flair and Perfect, and they're saying that there was a done deal, and it was between Ric Flair and Mr. Perfect, and they've gone to Plan B now, and Flair lost his shit in that interview, didn't he?
It was another very shouty interview.
Yeah, Flair wants to be WWE Champion, and that's why it resulted for both of these beating the hell at Macho and Warrior. But how can we get any better than what we just seen? How can it improve? Well, I tell you, boys and girls, it looks like we've got Harvey Wimpleman out here, which means that up next, we've got one of the legends of the WWE.
For the Lord of the Jungle.
It's the scariest man in the world. It's a man we've seen have a casket match with The Undertaker, and this is all build-up, their feud they had before it. And Kamala, the Ugandan giant, Dan, as a child, did he scare you?
He scared the bejesus out of me. I wouldn't like to meet him in a dark alley, I'll tell you that for nothing.
Well, this man from Uganda, deepest, darkest Africa, Dan, his man is capable of everything, anything. You see him wearing his war mask, come down to the ring, and he's with Harvey Wippleman and one of your favourites.
Kimchi.
Yeah, Kimchi, who was the tamer of Kamala. Look at that pop, look at the crowd reaction. And look at this entrance.
Being led out by Paul Bearer and the Urn on the back of a hearse.
One of the greatest entrances in WWE history. Look at this.
From Death Valley.
And that casket in that hearse, Dan, has got Kamala's name written all over it. Look at historic Undertaker. He's only been in the WWE 2 years at this point, and look how popular he was. Why was he popular? He was an Undertaker. It didn't make sense. But I loved him for it. He's the reason I got into pro wrestling, for the Undertaker is.
And he's the reason why we've got a 3-part Undertaker special.
We have focusing on all of the Undertaker. First part, 1990 to 99, and American Badass phase, and then of course when he was reborn as the Undertaker, the present day dead man. And who would have believed that when we started the podcast we would watch the so-called end of the Undertaker at this year's WrestleMania as well, WrestleMania 33.
Indeed.
Losing to Roman Reigns in the fashion he did. And this is where it all began with the Undertaker. He was a monster at this point, wasn't he, you know?
Pale-skinned, dark-haired, barely spoke.
Yeah. Paul Bearer did all the speaking for the Undertaker. The Undertaker was untouchable in the ring, and that's why they had to have so many monsters trying to beat. Because he'd been WWF champion in a short space of time. And I'll tell you what, Kamala said he's not scared. There's one thing he's scared of, Dan. Do you know what that is?
Caskets.
Caskets. He hates them.
Just like Heidenreich.
He does, just like most of the people Undertaker's faced. They are scared of caskets, and Kamala does not like it. Kimchi's saying, don't worry. And Kamala's like,
I do worry about the casket. And it's appropriate that it's dark outside.
It is. That's what makes an Undertaker entrance even better, isn't it, you know? Night time, the creatures of the night are out in force. The Undertaker getting a fantastic reception. I love this Undertaker. Now the hearse slowly reversing out. Look at the way he takes off his hat. The grey gloves as well. This is vintage Undertaker. I love this. The 4-year-old inside me loves this, Dan.
The 4-year-old that you've been inside loves it as well.
Oh, and Kamala going to hit the Undertaker.
Well, the Undertaker wise to it and hits him with a barrage of uppercuts. sending Kamala back to the corner and just choking the life out of the Ugandan monster.
Well, it's the power of the urn. It's power of Paul Bearer, isn't it? And we see the relationship these two men have, Paul Bearer and the Undertaker. Undertaker and Paul Bearer. Now working on Kamala in the corner.
Oh, but an Irish whip reversal sends Undertaker into the corner, but he sidesteps Kamala coming on.
At least Kamala's still alive. And Undertaker now bending back that arm, and he's going to go and do old school. Well, at this point in time, just be
school.
Yeah.
Walking the top rope. Big chop across the back of the neck for Kamala.
And Kamala's in no man's land. And look at the Undertaker getting distracted by Kimchi.
Kamala trying to creep up behind him, but the Undertaker, he must have eyes in the back of his head.
Undertaker's been in complete control of this match. Kamala's got nowhere to go. And Harvey Whippleman there on the apron trying to distract the Undertaker. Shaking the top rope.
Oh, sending the Undertaker crashing off, but immediately the Undertaker gets back to his feet.
And Kamala with a chop and a clothesline over the top. But Undertaker lands on his feet.
Grabs Wimpleman and Kimchi by the throat. But Kamala there, trying to take out the Undertaker from behind.
Oh,
A couple of strikes, but the Undertaker doesn't back down and he just keeps trying to go for the attack.
He's like Frankenstein, isn't he? Always rising from the depths. He gets slammed into the stairs. But it's the urn, it's the power of the urn keeping him going. As Paul Bearer's trying to help his man. Kamala, constant attack. It's great strategy against the Undertaker. You have to be, haven't you?
You can't give him an inch because he will take a mile.
Exactly. Kamala's back in. And he's the huge chops to the Undertaker. But the Undertaker, Dan, won't go down, will he?
No, very rarely does go down.
Will he? Oh!
Ducks underneath Kamala's clothesline.
Oh!
Choke slam.
And instead of going for the pin, started choking him. But I think he was in a pin position there, don't you?
Yes, but I think he had an illegal chokehold. That's why the referee couldn't count it.
Yeah, that's the point. The Irish whips the Kamala.
An Undertaker going high and saluting the urn. Bearers signalling for the end.
I tell you what, if we were doing top trump, this Undertaker versus any wrestler ever, and I reckon this guy would come out on top. As he's looking for the tombstone. Oh, come on!
Kimchi into trying to attack Undertaker and stop him from putting Kamala down.
And now Kimchi is in all sorts of trouble.
Oh, Undertaker sends Kimchi out the ring. Kamala with a kick to the back of the Undertaker.
And come on now, this match is over, but Kamala is doing that attack.
Just running into the Undertaker who's in the corner.
And now going to slam him. Oh, my word.
Big slam from Kamala to the Taker.
Rubbing his belly and now, squashing the Undertaker.
And this is the first time we've seen Undertaker in any kind of trouble.
And now Kamala on the second rope now. Oh!
Big splash onto the Undertaker.
No, he's not going to the top, is he?
Not to the top rope. This is a truly finished Taker off.
Oh, Kamala is on top now. No! Oh! Just literally squashed the Undertaker there. And Kamala has sent a strong message.
Scarpering away, but the Undertaker just sits up and looks at Kamala, who has shit himself.
He has, and that head turn as well by Taker. Just so fucking cool, man. Just get it up, turn it, there you go.
And now he's chasing Kamala down.
Well, this feud is not over. It would end at Survivor Series. But Undertaker just walking through everything to get to Kamala. And that is classic. Dan, what do you think of the match?
Brilliant. Undertaker, just great. I mean, it's how beasts should be portrayed nowadays, and they don't get portrayed like that anymore.
No, they really don't. And it's fantastic. You can see the reaction that he's getting as well. And like I say, yeah, maybe basic, but this is the thing. He had to work with what he was given, and he made it work as well. Even though it might not have been the best wrestling,
he made it work for 25 years.
Exactly.
Over 25 years.
I know, unbelievable achievement, the Undertaker, and this is just one of those very moments in time that we can just salute you as we're backstage, and look who it is, Dan.
Davey Boy Smith.
Davey Boy Smith, you have got to be feeling enormous pressure going into this match for the Intercontinental Championship. You will be stepping into the ring with your brother-in-law. Obviously, this match has torn both sides of the family apart. First of all, your thoughts on the family pressures you are facing now.
Well, I'm facing a lot of pressures in the family, Sean. But I didn't make this match. Jack Tunney made this match. But the British Bulldog has fought hard for 2 long years to be the number 1 contender for the Intercontinental belt. Yes, Bret, you are the Intercontinental Champion. Yes, Bret, you are my brother-in-law. But when I step in the ring with you, Bret, I never met you. I don't even know you. But at the end of the match, I just hope the families reunite.
British Bulldog, that brings me to my second point, one that may even bring even more pressure on you. The fact that you will be stepping out into that stadium in front of 80,000 of your fellow countrymen.
Sean, that isn't a pressure. That's a dream for the British Bulldog. And my second dream is, at the end of the match, the British Bulldog will be the next World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion.
Let's go over to Mean Gene.
Well, I've got to agree with my broadcast colleague Sean Mooney. Indeed, there is a great deal of pressure for this Intercontinental title bout. However, the pressure for the champion, you, Bret the Hitman Hart, much different than the pressure on the challenger, the British Bulldog. For him to win this coveted title, he must either make you submit or get the pinfall. 1, 2, 3 in the center of the ring. And then, of course, there's the question of the family pressure.
Let me tell you something, Gene. As far as family pressure goes, I've proven that I work real well under pressure. But you know something really bugs me? It really irks me is the British Bulldog actually has the gall to come out here and say that when he steps in the ring with me, that he's never met me, that he doesn't know me. Well, let me tell you something, British Bulldog. Take a good look at my face and look me in the eye and tell me you don't know me. Do you remember that far back, British Bulldog, when I was the one that introduced you to my sister Diana in the first place? And as far as your career in the World Wrestling Federation, I'm the one that helped you the most. You wouldn't be where you are in the World Wrestling Federation if it wasn't for me. Talk about gratitude. You know, the British Bulldog forgets he's the one that wanted to challenge me. He's the one responsible for all the family tension. He's the one that wanted a shot at the gold. Well, you know something? The British Bulldog, he wanted the big fight. He's got the big fight. And as far as his big dream, you know what I think of his big dream? This big dream of his of winning the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental title in front of 80,000 of his compatriots. Well, you know, I think this big dream of his is going to turn into a nightmare. And then tomorrow morning when he wakes up, he's going to think he woke up in the dungeon of Windsor Castle.
So Bulldog backstage, Dan, what's he saying?
Well, he said, look, I didn't make the match. You didn't make the match. President Jack Tunney made the match. But after it's all said and done, I hope the families are reunited.
And then he was asked, the Bulldog was asked if there's any pressure to go out there and perform at Wembley Stadium.
And he said it's a dream.
He's not
and
from
his
Luton.
Second dream.
He's from Manchester. Manchester, England, England.
He said it was a dream. And his second dream is to walk out with the WWF World Intercontinental Champion.
Well, there's one man who disagrees, and that is the WWF World Intercontinental Champion, Bret Hart. So we see Bret Hart, Dan. What did he have to say? A lot. He had to say a lot, don't you?
He had a lot to say.
What were the main points?
Well, he said basically, you know, British Bulldog wouldn't be where he was today if it wasn't for Bret Hart. He introduced him to his sister Diana. And, you know, you want the fight, I'll give you the fight.
Yeah, not only introduced his sister, helped him in the WWF to get to where he was right now. And he's saying, yeah, that big dream's going to become a nightmare tomorrow morning. All right, up next, Tatanka defeated the Berserker by pinfall. This match was originally scheduled as part of the pay-per-view, but due to time constraints, it was cut from the pay-per-view lineup in post-production.
The match, however, later aired on WWF Primetime Wrestling on the Silvervision home video release in the UK. This match was placed after the WWF World Heavyweight Championship match.
So if you've got the Silvervision video at home, you will have this match. If you watch it on the network, you have not. Well, up next, Dan, this is when you just become so racist at this point in time, because it is Roddy Piper, and he's joining the Balmoral Highlanders in playing Scotland the Brave on the bagpipes. My dad would be proud.
Roddy Piper.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I would like to introduce to you the Balmoral Highlanders.
What in the world? How about this? I've always hated hard rock. Hard rock? Yeah. It's like a bunch of grown men in skirts playing vacuum cleaners. Come on, get the flavor of this. Sounds like somebody pulled the tail off a cat. Look at the hair on that guy. That's not hair. They're the Balmoral Highlanders, and they're playing Scotland the Brave.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, as a special surprise, here to perform with the Balmoral Highlanders, Roddy Piper.
How about that? He's going to break dance for that.
It's hard not to reminisce back to some of the greatest summer matches held at the biggest event of the summer. Tremendous battles such as Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect, night one, Bret versus Owen in a brother versus brother match, in a steel cage match, Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon in a ladder match, and, of course, Shawn Michaels returned to the ring after 4 years of retirement to face former DX partner Triple H in a street fight in 2002, to hold all nostalgic value and significance in the history of the pay-per-view, though none arguably as great as the match featured that we are just about to watch. In a match he would later consider Grant would have to carry his brother-in-law through an entire match as Bulldog forgot everything he was supposed to do. This was a result of many unfortunate choices made before the match. So all this that we're going to talk about now is what Bret Hart says in his autobiography, Hitman, My Real Life in the Cartoon World of Wrestling. A book that we have both read, Dan, okay? And we're going to take the negative with the positive. We're going to take the negative with the positive here. This is what Bret said a few years ago. And then we've got what Bret has said recently as well. But we're going to draw the match in its entirety. But I didn't think it would be fair if we didn't talk about a little bit of the controversy behind it.
Well, rumour had it that Vince had big plans for SummerSlam 92. JJ Dillon, Vince's talent coordinator, whose job was basically doing Vince's dirty work when it came to fining, firing and delivering other bad news, let slip that the pay-per-view was possibly going to be in either Washington DC or London, England. I went to see Still wanted me to drop the belt to Shawn Michaels. I had an idea for that match that I wouldn't even tell him until he promised me that he'd never use it for anyone else. Vince agreed, so I told him about the concept of a ladder match. The more I told him, the more he liked it. Also, if SummerSlam was held in England, I suggested why didn't I drop the IC belt to Davey there, and Davey could, in turn, drop it to Shawn shortly thereafter. The pop in the UK would be huge because Davey was a homeboy. Vince told me he liked both ideas. At the next TVs, he asked me to show him a ladder match. I could do it with Shawn, I said. I rang Davey as soon as I left Vince's office to tell him, but he was so down about his 6-week suspension for testing positive for steroids that he showed little enthusiasm. Even though it was 3 months away, the match with Davey Boy soon became almost all I had thought about, piecing it together move by move in my head. I'd kept an old bunch of Leo Burks tucked away in my head for just the right moment, and this would be it.
By the time I got to TVs in Hamilton on June 1st, it was official. SummerSlam would be at Wembley Stadium in London. Davey was back on the road, and Vince was going ahead with my idea to drop the IC belt to him. As the summer slipped away, I spent my time training and working on another big cartoon drawing of all the wrestlers, this time for Vince. I couldn't help but feel indebted to him. I constantly phoned Davey in Florida, but all Diana could tell me with Jim somewhere. I finally tracked Jim just hours before I was leaving for England and was shocked when he told me that he'd just taken Davey and Diana to the airport. Davey was high as a kite when he when he caught his flight. Jim said because he'd been up all night smoking crack with him. Jim told me Davey had a gorilla on his back and was worried about him. I wish Jim would take a good look at himself.
I couldn't have been more disappointed in Davey and feared he would end up making us both look bad. I remembered Vince asking me back in Birminghamton.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Back in Birminghamton, if I was sure I could go on last in the main event. I can promise you nobody would be able to follow us, I'd say. And when I asked Vince whether he wanted me to run the finish past him, he told me I don't want to know. Surprise me. I'd never heard him say that to anyone else before or after. But now I truly had no idea what surprises the match was likely to have in store.
When I arrived in London, hundreds of fans poured out of the hotel lobby to chant my name in the streets. I set out to find Davey, but he's off somewhere with Diana and his family. I didn't see him until the required entrance rehearsal at Wembley Stadium the night before the show. When I asked him why he hadn't returned my calls all summer, he wasn't able to look me in the eye. He fessed up that he'd been smoking crack with Jim for weeks and was now terrified. He'd gone back to the same helpless kid I'd rescued from Dynamite 10 years earlier. Trust me, Davey. And I'll do all I can to get you through tomorrow, okay?
He nodded, and I sat him down for a crash course, going over and over our match and making him recite the moves back to me. It was now completely up to me to save our match. The following day, we arrived at Wembley early. The sun hid high in the sky, but there was a collective sigh of relief because it looked like it wasn't going to rain.
Well, once the show started, I worried and waited, fearing that the other wrestlers would run too long, leaving me and Davey with not enough time to tell our story. If we ran out of time, it would be my tough luck, since if Davey beat me in a short match, it could ruin me in England. One positive note that there was that the referee was Gorilla's boy, Joey Morella, who in my opinion was the best WWF ref. I knew he'd do his best to help me communicate with Davey once we got out there.
The sky was a beautiful purple-blue by the time our match was called. Davey went out before me to a huge ovation. I was banking on my sense that the British fans truly loved me, but I would feel they had to support their fellow countrymen. To all the fans watching via satellite, I'll be a huge underdog. Today, I'd break all their hearts and win their undying loyalty. I was betting my career on it.
Right, so before the match starts, should we watch the match and then talk about it a little bit afterwards? Wrap everything up. Because it is now time for, like they said, the greatest match in SummerSlam history. And we see Tom Mooney getting Diana's thoughts on it. What do you think of Diana? What do you think she looks like?
I'd have a tear.
Yeah, I think she's all right. Former beauty queen in Calgary as well. We saw that in 97 when she was part of the Hart Foundation. But back in 92, and she's not picking a side.
Bruce Hart publicly supported Smith and Owen Hart sided with his brother Bret, while Diana says she did not know who she wanted to win and simply hoped neither man would get hurt.
Well, in the lead up to the match, Smith suffered from serious health problems, some allegedly self-inflicted, but the two men delivered a classic that has stood the test of time. So Diana's getting asked, what side would you pick? And she manages to talk out for like 4 minutes without actually giving an answer. So I reckon she's backing Bret in this one, do you know what I mean? But it's personal side, isn't it? Both brother-in-laws. Unbelievable main event.
And Bulldog's been up all night smoking crack.
That's not going on. There's another nice story later about Bulldog. It's what we've been waiting for all night, Dan. Here comes the Bulldog.
And a huge ovation for the hometown man.
Oh my God, we haven't got a star. We haven't had a star like this in years with the Bulldog. And look who's coming out of him, Dan. Cedric Alexander. No.
Lennox Lewis.
And at that time, he was the reigning Commonwealth Heavyweight Boxing Champion. So he wasn't even World Champion yet. Bulldog helped Lennox Lewis out, you see.
By giving him crack.
Does the Bulldog look in good shape, Dan?
He looks in bloody good shape for a crackhead.
No. Does he look in good shape, Dan?
Yeah. You wouldn't have known that he'd been out for 6 weeks for steroid abuse.
I mean, the Bulldog looks in great shape, and the home crowd, 80,000 people, cheering him on.
Cheering on for a crackhead.
You're going to ruin this main event for me.
Crack?
So the Bulldog is out in. I think he looks fantastic, draped in a Union Jack, muscles are bulging. He is here in the main event to become the Intercontinental Champion, with Lennox Lewis waving the British flag as well. What a moment for us in the main event at Wembley Stadium. 80,000 people. It is a good ovation. Bret Hart, the Intercontinental Champion, coming out here now. Not as strong as the Bulldogs, was it?
Nah, most definitely not. But, you know, a good reception for the outsider of the match, shall we say.
Yeah, but Bret has got his fans out there, though. Make no mistake about that. And he'll be confident going into this one. Because if there's ever a man with a plan, it is Bret Hart. Especially smoking all that crack. Now, Bret Hart coming out here. This is unbelievable, Dad. I'm so excited. How are you feeling right now?
Hyped!
Oh, yeah. You're ruining it. You're ruining it.
Mojo. Crackhead.
Right, get your shit together.
Steroids.
I'm not having you ruin this. This is the only chance we're ever going to do this. The only time we're ever going to record this match is right now. We've had a great pay-per-view so far. So it's Bret Hart, British Bulldog.
Crackhead.
Here we go. Bret Hart, British Bulldog, Intercontinental title. Gorilla Monsoon's son, IC title belt referee.
Bret Hart's glasses.
Now Bret Hart's going to take his glass off for one lucky fan at ringside. And
that fan would grow up to do this very WWE Network Review podcast.
No, that's not you. Well, thanks, Bret. Wow, what a moment that is. And look at this, complete darkness now at night in the sky. So you can see what's going on. Exactly, the night has drawn in 80,000 people watching on bated breath. Which way is it going to go? Will it be Bulldog? Will it be Bret Hart? We're going to find out. These two men tie up for the first time in this match. Well, I think Bulldog's definitely got the strength advantage. I think Bret, you give him speed, wouldn't you?
Yeah, most definitely. And Bret is, of course, the excellence of execution.
But Bulldog has got a few technical moves in his arsenal as well. And he's got, like I say, he's going to rely on the power. So he pushes Bret off and he hits turnbuckle. But Bret looking really well at this moment in time.
He's looking great, yeah.
This is before the stroke and his brother's death. So he's honestly, he's looking really, really good. As he leapfrogs Bulldog.
Oh, and just runs right through Bret, who gets sent straight to the outside of the ring. And the power of the British Bulldog, Bret's not going to be able to keep up with that.
No, but Bret knows he's got to kind of Bret definitely knows he's got to slow this down. He can't let the Bulldog beat him up in the early going. You've got to think how much excitement that Bulldog's got. He said how happy he was about performing in front of his hometown crowd as well, his home fans.
Type headlock takedown, but Bulldog with a head scissors. And again, an early exchange between the two. With Bret Hart getting the better of it.
Yeah, both men learnt Stu Hart's done about that. Bulldog's got all the experience to back himself up there. Him and Bret have known each other for so long. Like I say, members of the family. Bulldog standing up with Bret because he couldn't get hold of the head scissors again. Going for the Gorilla Press.
Oh, but Bret trying to roll up. Get this match over early, but Bulldog kicking out at one.
And Bret's trying to go again for the quick pinfall. Maybe trying, like we spoke about earlier, trying to get Bulldog out of breath as the match goes on. The longer it goes, the more it favours Bret, doesn't it? You know?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we know Bret can go a mile, so to speak. And, he's going to try and tire the Bulldog out.
He's got him in a side sleeper right now. He's just, like I say, going to try and wear down the Bulldog. Trying to show who's in control of this match. We know what Bret Hart's going to be looking for as well with the sharpshooter. Bulldog's all about the power, and he managed to get out of that.
Managed to pull his head free and just delivering the knees to Bret's arm, which is tied up behind his back.
He's got wrist control at the moment. As Bret's going to try and fight off.
Yeah, Bulldog with a lovely hammerlock.
Bret, that's that's called a back elbow to the face. Getting control, and Bret not doing it the nicest way, but now getting control of the arm.
Well, he knows he's not going to be the fan favourite here because, you know, he's going against the hometown hero, so why not play the heel for a bit?
Well, by any means necessary, you're going to work on the arm.
And if you take the arm off the Bulldog, you're going to take away the power game.
Yeah, but look how good the Bulldog looks there, getting out of it.
Oh, very athletic and getting an armbar of his own.
Showing what he can do, and he looks like he belongs right now. And Diana looking on at ringside. She must be so nervous to see her husband and her brother going at it in the ring. And now Bret's trying to get out of the arm. The arm wrangler by Bulldog. Leapfrog by Bret.
Oh, leapfrog attempt by Bret, but gets caught by Bulldog, and a move that doesn't work, the slingshot straight into the top turnbuckle. And the fans absolutely loving it. The hometown hero getting the upper hand.
Yeah, and straight back to that arm. And I get a little breath back a little bit. Bulldog doesn't want to overdo it in the early going. I mean, this is without doubt Bulldog's biggest match of his life. And Bret's, to be clear, at this point in time for Bret. I mean, Bret would have bigger matches, obviously, as his career went along. But I think with Bulldog, he never really made it main event again, especially being at Wembley Stadium. It was just meant for him, wasn't it, at this point in time? Bret trying to get out of the arm. Irish whipping Bulldog.
Oh, fixed down for the pin. But Bret managing to kick out.
Oh. You can hear the crowd going absolutely mental as well, cheering Bulldog and Bret. Bulldog's got the arm. He's going to take his time. I mean, what was your favourite Bulldog look, Dan? If you had to pick.
I'd have to go with this one.
Yeah?
Because, I didn't quite like him when he was in his denim shorts with shorter hair.
Yeah, and of course we've seen recently this week WWW when he had the short pants, short hair. I think, the braids, I think he pulled it off. I don't think many men with braids can actually pull it off, and I think the Bulldog did.
Him and Road Dogg.
Yeah, credit to those two men. And of course black men, but I'm talking about white.
I reckon you should.
You think I should braid? Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to do it now, right now. Yeah, and Bulldog's got Bret, making sure he's just got control. And you can see Bret's mind working as well, how to get out of it. And he's putting his hand over Bulldog's mouth, trying to disrupt the breathing there as well.
Bulldog charging in, but Bret just lifts up the knee straight to the midsection, driving the wind out of Bulldog.
Oh. Bret taunting the crowd a little bit as well.
Oh, kick to the midsection.
Beautiful leg drop by Bret. He goes in for that sleeper now. And he's going to try and put Bulldog asleep. That's what it's called a sleeper for.
Thanks for clearing that
yeah,
up.
I know, just in case. But Bulldog showed his power, flying out of it, elbows. Oh.
But Bret with an elbow of his own to the on-charging Bulldog's face. Takes him down to the mat. Oh, and drops his own elbow across the throat of the Bulldog.
I mean, just listen to the crowd. They're just going mental. As now Bret is in control of Bulldog. Oh. Is that an inverted atomic drop? And now Bret, you see what he's doing, he's working the top and then he's working the bottom there. Legs and head, and as the Irish whips Bulldog. Oh!
Bulldog going for another crucifix, but Bret catching it in like a Samoan drop.
Yeah, fool me once.
For the cover. Oh, but only a 2 count.
2, yeah, fool me once. Bret got caught with that once and then realised what Bulldog was doing, and now he's back in control. Like you said, the excellent execution, the tactics of Bret, and you can see what Bret's doing now.
He's talking to him.
He's
telling him what's going on next.
You're a motherfucking crackhead, boy.
Don't take that away from the Bull. I can't believe you're the only British person that doesn't like British Bulldog. Every time we've seen the Bulldog, you've got a problem with him. I don't know how. He's the British Bull, the greatest British wrestler of all time. There is none bigger. No one has done it. I don't care. Regal's not even got to a level there. Bulldog was a genuine main event star. He headlined Wembley Stadium, 80,000 people. Get Bret Hart for the Intercontinental title, you know? It's huge what Bulldog accomplished. Yes, he might have smoked a little bit of crack here and there, but who doesn't, you know? Bulldog with a beautiful leapfrog and then slingshotting Bret Hart across the ring, showing his power there. God damn, Dan. Now, you're going to get Bret. Oh, huge headbutt.
Big Irish rip into the corner by the Bulldog. Oh, and sends him straight into the opposite corner, but charges at Bret, who lifts his feet up straight into the face of Bulldog.
Oh, there's no protection there. And now Bulldog.
Oh, running Bulldog on the Bulldog.
And now Bret seems to be in another place. He seems to be one step ahead of the Bulldog at the moment as he looks to go to the top. And we don't see Bret going to the top that often.
Oh, and this is why the Bulldog just throws him off the top rope. And now he goes up top himself.
Here comes the Bulldog. Oh!
The fuck?
Oh, he tried to splash Bret, and Bret moved out of the way. Bulldog face first, and Bret just slamming Bulldog's head into the canvas. And Bret just taking his time. He's picking apart Bulldog here, going to the slam.
Oh, but Bulldog with the backslide, looking to push Bret to get against the ropes, but Bret ducks, and Bulldog goes through the second rope, crashing to the wafer thin blue mats below.
And Bret showing his cocky side, saying that's what it's all about. And like I say, he has been one step ahead. And Kenny calls the major upset.
Major upset.
At SummerSlam here tonight. Bulldog on the outside, trying to recover.
Bret on the inside, recovering.
Bulldog now on the apron. Oh no, here comes Bret.
Oh. diving over the top rope, taking Bulldog out.
He made sure to grab a hold of Bulldog there on his way down, hitting those millimetre thick mats on the outside. And now Bret picks up Bulldog. Oh.
Ramming him lower back first into the ring post. Now Bret's starting to get the crowd behind him a bit. Cheer the Bulldog on.
Bret Hart there with the Irish Whip, and he's working the lower back of the Bulldog.
Now Bret's been in control for the best part of 5 minutes here now. How much of a beatdown can the Bulldog take? Oh, as Bret's side Russian leg sweep.
Fans loving it though. As Bret goes to the beautiful uppercut. Is that a European? Is that an uppercut on the European?
That's a Canadian uppercut.
Now Bret with a big right hand. Oh.
Lovely executed dropkick there, taking the big man off his feet.
Big man. Do you think it takes... Obviously you think it takes away from the Bulldog then, doesn't it?
Oh, I do slightly, you know. I as I say, you know, I only found out about this crack thing here from what I've read from this. You know, I don't know how true it is. I don't know, you know, what the extent to is, because he might have only done a few pipes.
Yeah, but every wrestler was doing heavy drugs in the WWF in the late, you know, you look at the steroid trial as well. Everybody's doing drugs. You know, Bret was a drug taker, but just because it was cocaine and that, it depends what level you are, you know. It's like muscle relaxers. If your wrestler's taking that, then that's okay, because normal people don't know about it.
Well done, poppers.
Yeah, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, though. But I think we have to respect, we have to look at it, you know, and just think, yeah, okay, but, you know.
Well, we have to respect that, seeing as one of them's a crackhead, one of them's a cokehead, that they managed to deliver a 5-star match anyway.
Well, yeah, as I was saying, we're taking away...
Thanks to Gorilla's son, the referee, Jack.
We're taking away... Yeah, if it wasn't for the referee, this wouldn't be a good match. And Bret's got him in a sleeper now, and he's been wearing him down. I mean, Bulldog started strong, but Bret has kind of taken over since then.
Now Bret now trying to go for a suplex. Oh, that was a lovely executed suplex there by Bret.
Oh, but Bulldog managed to kick out.
Ah.
And now right back to that sleeper hold. Gonna wear the Bulldog down. Cool. You've got the whole country on your shoulders here tonight. I'm not gonna have it taken away. What a great pay-per-view it's been, Dan, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been brilliant. You know, not just for the nostalgic memories, but just for what it was. You know, normally we'd complain there's too many side headlocks or rest holds. Again, you can't take away from it. And the picture-in-picture of brother of one, lover of the other.
Just clubbing strikes, and she can't believe it. Diana can't believe that Bret would do this to Bulldog. Oh.
Picking him up by his hair and just dropping him again on the mat. Oh, Bulldog swinging wildly, but Bret ducking it and getting him in a sleeper hold now. This could be the end for Bulldog.
Well, Bulldog? He's down to one knee now, and he's slowly fading. He's going to be out. Check the arm ref. And look at Bret. Body weight on top of Bulldog, making it even harder to get up, but he's got to the bottom rope.
Try and break the hold, but Bret is going to hold on for the full 5 count and some.
And Bret kicking Bulldog right in the face.
Brother-in-law, but you know, you would have thought these two were mortal enemies the way they've been going at it.
It's been vicious from the start, and with the Intercontinental title on the line, it means everything to each man. And we got the added thing of not only having, like you say, the sister and the wife at ringside, but also being in the British Bulldog's hometown country, 80,000 people watching on, and Bulldog might be out. He might have shot his load in the early going.
We said that the longer the match goes on, the more in favour of the excellence of execution it's going to be.
Yeah, this is what Bret's great at. Like I say, he just wears you down eventually. He's picking apart everything, every part of Bulldog's body as well. He's got a plan.
Referee's checking the arm. It's dropped twice.
And this is over. This is it.
Oh. Well, the Bulldog managing to stay in it. Getting back up to his feet. Oh, thundering Bret back into the corner, but Bret snaps the hold back on once more.
And they're just trying to get Bulldog down, but Bulldog powering up.
Oh, back of his head straight into that top turnbuckle. That's certainly put Bret down for now.
Now Bulldog checking with the fans, trying to get his bearings as Bret trying to right hand, but Bulldog fights out.
Both men exchanging blows in the middle of the ring now. Bret getting the upper hand.
Oh, Bulldog reversing the Irish whip. Got the power to pick Bret up. Oh!
But dropping Bret on the second rope, crutching him on it. Was that intentional or not, James? I'll let you be the judge of that.
Well, I think he meant to get the top, but I think Bret reached out and managed to grab that middle one before it went any worse. Before it got any worse for him. And now Bulldog getting a second win finally. Irish whipping Bret. Now the clothesline, building momentum.
Oh, he's starting to build up some steam now. Running through Bret a third time, goes for the cover. 2. Oh, but Bret managing to kick out.
And now Bulldog again with the power. Oh,
just throws Bret around like he's a leaf.
Like a rag doll. And Bulldog going for the cover, not hooking the leg, but he thinks the lateral press will do it, but Bret kicks out. And now Bulldog picking Bret up. Maybe one of his famous standing suplexes. But has he got the power? Has the Bulldog got the power and the energy?
Bulldog's always got the power.
To get him up.
A delayed vertical suplex here from the Bulldog.
Oh!
An amazing show of power there. This has got to be it. 2. Oh, but Bret managing to get his shoulder up at 2.
2! And now Bulldog is backing Bret into the corner.
Now it's Bulldog's turn to go on the offensive. Bret has been in control for majority of this match.
Oh!
Jesus Christ. Bulldog sending Bret sternum first into the top turnbuckle, but only managing to get a 2 count there.
2. And now the Bulldog signalling for it. Is this going to be the end now?
The end is near.
Running power slam. To be fair, Bulldog does look a little bit
Fooked?
Yeah, he looks a little bit tired. Like he's got a faraway look in his eyes, but he's taking a lot of punishment in this match as he picks up Bret Hart looking for the power slam. Here we go, new Intercontinental Champion. Bang!
Oh, hits it. 1, 2. Oh.
What?
Oh my God, Bret managed to kick out.
I can't believe that. Bulldog, he's got his head in his hands. How did Bret manage to kick out of that?
I have no idea.
And now Bret staggered. He's up before Bulldog is. Sat on that second rope.
Oh, wow, but Bulldog just shoving Bret out the ring. Is it time for Bulldog to get a bit dirty?
Well, he doesn't care about Bret there. He's going to let him fall hard. And now he's picking him up. Another suplex maybe into the ring this time.
Oh, but Bret with the backslide.
Oh,
a German with a pinning combination, but Bulldog managing to kick out.
Yes, finally. Finally, Bulldog showing the heart determination of a champion. I'm not sure if he had it in him here tonight, but that move was hellacious. Now Bulldog, come on. He's been caught by Bret, and now Bret's got him.
Oh, trying to power up Bulldog, but I don't think Bret's got the strength. Bulldog has, though. Places Bret on the top turnbuckle.
And he's on top, and what is Bulldog thinking here? Oh my God, not superplex.
Oh, hits it. This could be it. 1, 2.
Oh my word.
And Bret managing to kick out. How he did that, I have no idea.
Well, that is unbelievable. We've seen Bret hit with a running power slam, suplex off the top. Maybe tonight Bret can't be beaten. Bulldog struggling to get to his feet. This has been an all-out war. He looks to Irish rip Bret one last time.
Oh, Bret for the clothesline, but Bulldog ducks it.
Hey.
And a move that James absolutely loves. Both men double clotheslining each other, sending each man crashing to the mat.
Well, I can't believe it's a crowd. It's gone in a furore. The crowd can't believe what they're seeing, and now both men knocked down. And what's Bret doing? Is Bret locking him up?
For the sharpshooter.
But he's on the ground. Both men laying on the mat.
Bret is the excellence of execution, and he manages to get him in the sharpshooter from both men being on their backs.
Can he lift a leg and get Bulldog stuck in it? And he has. And the sharpshooter's it.
This is it. This is the move that's going to make Austin pass out in the future.
Well, no one has ever gotten out of the sharpshooter before. And Bulldog is stuck in it, desperately looking. Get to that bottom rope.
Oh. And Bret exhausted. Falls backwards.
Well done. Happy her husband got to the rope, but then she realised the match has to continue. As now Bret, he's got his best move, the sharpshooter, would go to right hand, Irish whip. Bulldog reverses.
Bret with a backslide. Bulldog rolls up Bret.
Oh, he got him! He got him!
And the crowd goes crazy.
Oh!
80,000 people there, all on their feet, cheering on the Bulldog and his win.
Oh my word, well, Bret, beautiful sunset flip like you said, but Bulldog catching him there. Bret had nowhere to go.
Bret got out-wrestled by Bulldog.
He did.
In that last exchange.
He did, and no one can fault Bret Hart for that. Bulldog was a better man there. Fair play to him. Dan, what do you think of the match?
I thought it was brilliant. You know, both men worked so well. Bret, you know, looked in control for the majority of the match, and, you know, Bulldog coming out the last minute to win it in his home country.
Well, what a fucking moment. I've been waiting a couple of years to watch this on the podcast, and it is truly delivered here. Talk about the main event first. I mean, this is what all future main event matches are going to be built around in wrestling-wise, you know what I mean? When it's two good technical wrestlers. As you build up, you saw it, Bulldogs begin with, and then Bret managing to bring him down, and then towards the end, just back and forth. Everything was right. You know, and you could say if he's too close to the ropes, maybe the sharpshooter, he would have made him tap out with that. Kicking out the power slam as well. Unbelievable. And the suplex. And right now, Dan, what is going on?
Well, the crowd is standing on their feet, you know, giving a standing ovation to not just the Bulldog, but to Bret and his performance in this match as well. Bulldog's holding the title. Is it going to be a family reunion? He's offering his hand to Bret, his brother-in-law.
No, I don't know if he's going to accept or not. The new Intercontinental Champion, though, got his hand out. And Bret, what's he going to do?
Deleted by this loss.
Crowd booing Bret as well. But Bret had just said he was going to get the job done, and he didn't. Here tonight, look at Diana. She's crying, looking on. Is this going to be the thing that splits up the Hart family? Oh.
At the family reunion in the middle of the ring, the handshake followed by the hug.
And we talked about the emotional moment earlier of Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior. I think this one even more so, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, not only like did they have to go at each other, but you know they went in a match that lasted over half an hour, and they're brother-in-laws. You know, they're family.
Yeah. And that's what it's about, you know, and what a great moment. And like we say, with tragedy and controversy in Bulldog's life. And this moment, you know, you can't top it. Wembley Stadium, having a 5-star match with Bret Hart, and then the reception from the crowd, and this moment, you know, it's a moment in time, and it makes you proud. It's weird. Not many wrestling moments make you proud to be British, but this is definitely one of them, you know.
Yeah, most definitely.
Unbelievable. What an event. What a night it has been. I honestly can't believe it.
No, it is, you know, again, it's been a nostalgic run for me. And, you know, seeing a lot of my favourite wrestlers as a youngster and seeing these matches again for the first time in a while because, you know, I've not seen this pay-per-view in ages.
Yeah. I mean, we'll talk about all the cards in a minute as the fireworks go off. And it is a moment down there with Bret and Bulldog holding the Irish flag and the fireworks display at Wembley Stadium. What a moment. We'll just go back to Bret and see what he says. So there was a deafening roar as Raw Britannia played and Joey gave David a belt. And after 37 grueling minutes, I lay on the mat feigning being heartbroken. But in fact, I was elated. I was also exhausted and in considerable pain. But I knew that the handshake at the end would top it all off. The last detail in this drama.
I made out that I was too pissed off to shake Davey's hand. I planned all of this with Davey, but it became painfully obvious to me that he had forgotten all about it. I desperately tried to make eye contact, but he was oblivious. As Diana climbed into the ring crying, I can only assume for real, I'm thinking, come on Davey, look at me and we'll make them all cry. But Davey never caught on. Instead, he was just trying to milk the crowd. I was thinking, the drama is with me, not them. For fuck's sake, please look at me, Davey. After too many attempts, I gave up and just walked over and shook his hand.
Can I just say something there? We've just had that extract from that. In the actual video, it was Bulldog offered his hand first, wasn't it? And was there for Bret. So he actually had his hand out, and it wasn't Bret that just went over and shook it, was it?
Well, Bret, he had done that, and then Bret walked away, and then twice he had attempted to exit the ring, and then Bret actually did come back in the ring to shake Bulldog's hand.
Yeah, so we had that there. So he said he completely missed one of the tiny moments that could make it more real. He said, Bret said everything hurt, even my fingers were sore. When I got back to the dressing room, most of the boys had already left on the bus, but the ones who'd seen the match seemed blown away. I understood the art of losing and the power of sympathy. I knew that in the weeks to come, it would be me who was over more than Warrior, Savage, Flair, even Davey. All of them have been excellently executed. What a lovely thing to say, Bret.
Why don't you blow your own trumpet?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'd always believed this was my greatest match, especially because I carried Davey all the way through it without anyone being the wiser. My dad would tell me later that it's one thing to have a great match, but it's another thing to have a great match in front of 80,000 people.
Okay, so since that moment in time, because I probably understand it a little bit, because in Bret Hart's autobiography, he had the Hall of Fame appearance with WWE, but he wasn't really welcomed back into the fold, and they made a big deal about him. Well, since then they have, and this is a recent interview with Bret Hart, who was talking to Sports Illustrated as well, about the 1992 SummerSlam match against the... Say that.
I'll always be partial to Wembley. It's one of my greatest matches. And it was special to have an outdoor show at Wembley. Everyone was scared it was going to rain and ruin the show, and it was supposed to rain. But everyone crossed their fingers, and it never rained. There was 82,000 people, and something made that match so special that nobody knew who was going to win. I was able to do that with Bulldog at Wembley, right to the very last pin. No one knew who was going to win. It's hard to explain. It's a beautiful thing to watch in wrestling when someone loses in the exact perfect way. That's why the pin was so dramatic. There was no escape. There was no shame. But I made a mistake, and Davey capitalised. It was a beautiful story, and I believe that was the match that launched me into a world champion.
So isn't that a much better thing for Bret to say about the match than the bullshit he said in his autobiography? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to leave that, do you think he's learnt from his mistakes from that now, and that's why he's a little bit more like, you know, me and Bulldog actually had the perfect match?
Yeah.
We don't really want to talk about the aftermath of the card, do we? No. We know about the aftermath. We know Macho Man lost the title to Ric Flair in September, and then Ric Flair would go on to lose the title to Bret Hart soon afterwards. Bulldog will lose the IC title to Shawn Michaels. And, of course, we'd have Survivor Series 92, Kamala, Undertaker in a car. And you go to WrestleMania 9, where we talk about Money Inc. and everything like this. So what we are going to do, lastly, we're going to talk about the card. Because, Dan, it's one of the most enjoyable shows that I've seen.
Yeah, most definitely. No, for me as well, it was great to see all these old faces. You know, again, I've mentioned it a couple of times, but a nostalgia feel for me. Yeah. You know, admittedly, it wasn't the greatest wrestling.
Well...
but it was certainly entertaining.
Exactly, this is what matters. So we're going to go through matches. First match is LOD versus Money Inc. I mean, what did you think about that one?
It was a perfect tag match.
Yeah, I gave it 3 out of 5 because it started off the show well, and I thought, you know, well, exactly, it's a good way to start. So the entrances were brilliant, weren't they? With Legion Doom coming out. Up next was the worst match of the night, 1 out of 5 for me. Nails versus Virgil. That was a waste of time, wasn't it?
Yeah, Nails completely no selling. Virgil. It was just a filler match, a squash match.
Shawn Michaels versus Rick the Model Martel. That had you laughing.
Yeah, it was a great match.
Yeah, I know. It's really good, wasn't it?
You know, even the ending was entertaining, even though it went to like a double count out.
Double count out, but Sherry getting the bucket of water overhead, she was so entertaining in that match as well. I gave that a 4 out of 5 because of how good it was. Up next, it was Beverly Brothers versus the Natural Disasters.
Again, you know, I think that was a great match. Yeah, the two big guys, but the Beverly Brothers trying to use their heel tactics, using a metal scroll to try and take down Typhoon, but it didn't work. And in the end, they got squashed, literally.
They literally did, yeah. And I gave that 3.5 out of 5. I thought that was a little bit better than the LOD Money in the Bank. LOD versus Money Inc. match, wasn't it? Yeah, just a little bit. And then after that, well, it just gets better and better. Repo Man versus Crush, Stan.
I loved it. The Repo Man, you know, he played his part brilliantly. I don't think ever he won many matches in his WWE career. But the Crush, again, you know, he looked just like a monster. Yeah. You know, a face monster as well at that.
I gave that 3 out of 5, the same as the first tag team match, because, like I say, it wasn't the best wrestling, but it was just fun, wasn't it? And it was over before it could really annoy. And then we had the WF title match. It was Randy Savage versus the Warrior.
Brilliant match. You know, even the controversy of Rick Perfect, whose side are they going to be on, which way is it going to go, you know, and even the build-up to the match as well, when Lord Alfred Hayes was knocking on each of their locker room doors, only to get ignored or to get the door slammed in his face. You know, it was just the perfect build-up to a brilliant match between the two, and then the embrace at the end just sealed the deal.
Exactly. I gave that 4 out of 5, I gave it 4.5. No, I didn't. Yeah, I gave it 4.5 out of 5, because, it was near. If it had a clean finish, it would have been a perfect match, wouldn't it, you know, for me. And then Kamala versus The Undertaker. I mean, I'll talk about this one. If you're going to have The Undertaker in grey gloves and in the grey boots that he has and the way he looks there, you're going to get me saying it's a perfect match every time. But because it did end DQ, I will give that 4 out of 5. I think that is only fair. But what a moment. And then the main event, Bret Hart Bulldog. We've just seen it, Dan. Is it worthy of a 5-star rating?
Definitely.
Yeah, I really think it was everything. The story in itself. This is what we're missing out on. It was a build-up to the story as well as the payoff during the match.
And the emotion you invested during the match. Even, like, you know, to the embrace at the end of it, which sold it even better, you know. They've just gone through this hellacious over 30-minute match. And then to hug it out at the end with, you know, Bret's sister, Bulldog's wife, you know, just the three of them showing their solidarity and union at the end as well.
Yeah, and I'll say, like, even though it was over 30 minutes, I didn't really check the clock at time, you know, during the match. It was just kind of went away. I think every single match that was on, there's not one time I was like thinking, oh, is it over yet? It was just pure enjoyment. Like I say, from the afternoon kind of the daylight to night time as well, the setting, it did feel like a WrestleMania. It was better than WrestleMania 8 as well. I will say that.
Yeah. Not as good as WrestleMania 9. But
well, still, I'm not gonna argue there because you know. But match of the night, I think it's pretty obvious. But Dan, do you want to just confirm
the main event?
Me? The main event, yeah. Bret Bulldog is your match of the night. But I mean, like I say, that was such a good card, even though we might be a little biased. Rating out of 10 for the pay-per-view.
I'm going to give it a 9.
Yeah.
You know, for the nostalgia, for the matches, because, you know, again, as you mentioned, the matches were over before they got old and boring. You know, even the main event, or both main events, you know, they went on for quite some time, but they didn't get boring, they didn't get old, you know, and the controversy going into a majority of the matches as well, you know, it was just perfect. They all told brilliant stories. You know, there was the one match that let it down, Virgil Nails, but
yeah, I mean, if that had been a TLC match, then it would have got 10 out of 10.
Most definitely. Or, you know, it could have been a women's match or something.
Yeah, no, that's what we didn't have back then. But to be able to deliver it, and like you say, seeing the Legion of Doom, seeing a young Shawn Michaels, seeing the Natural Disasters, seeing Crush and the Repo Man, Randy Savage Warrior, Roddy Piper showing up, of course, The Undertaker where he was, Bulldog and Bret. It's everything as a fan, certainly our age, especially from Britain as well, the UK. It is one of those pay-per-views that is a must-watch, you know, and that's why it deserves a 9 out of 10. It's one of the greatest pay-per-views, I would say, of all time. You could argue maybe not in ring, but look at that main event, and that's why it's the greatest SummerSlam match of all time, because you can battle that against everything, and that will probably come out on top. Before we go,
Saturday at midnight, we are live with NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3 Kickoff, as we look at the latest episode of NXT and give you all the build-up. What will surely be a glorious event.
But Dan, that's not all, because then Sunday 9 PM live, the WNR bring you SummerSlam. So we look at the latest episode 205 live and run through the cards as we get ready for the biggest party of the summer. Don't forget, if you want to speak to us about SummerSlam 92, on Twitter at WWE Network Review or
at Vince McDan, WWE.
I'm at J_Rowlands. We've also got another friend on Twitter.
Chris Benoit. He's just trying to make the world a better place.
We're also on Facebook.
You can come and find our page and give us a like. We are the WWE Network Review podcast, so you can come and find me and add me as a friend. I am Vince McDan.
Across all the Google platforms, don't forget. Google Plus, the WWE Network Review. Send us an email at WNRpodcast@gmail.com. We're on YouTube. Subscribe to the WWE Network Review podcast page. We've got all the latest clips and the podcast go at the same time there to do other places like SoundCloud.
On your phone.
And we're also on Spreaker Radio, where we've got our live shows, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, where you can download, subscribe, rate and review there. But I have been James Rowlands, and what a weekend it's going to be. But what a show it's been. I have been James Rowlands, and as always I was joined by...
Damn right.
I said that twice, didn't I? Bye.
Bye.